What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. And my apologies for this video being a little later than I wanted it to be. There was like 2 or 3 different dates last week I wanted it to happen, but shit happens, right? Life gets in the way. And so, fuck it, we're going to do it live. Rudy, what's happening?
What's going on? Thank you for having
Another
me,
day in the
sir.
life. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to watching this with you, dude. I've seen this like 4 times. This is my 5th, so
Oh, wow.
yes, not by
My
choice.
third.
I'm interested to hear what you think about a few things. So
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting watch along. I was hoping that CP was going to be able to join us because he was still very kind of tossed up. CP unfortunately is having some COVID issues right now, so everybody send him some well wishes. Don't bombard him with messages or anything like that because he's trying to relax. But just hope he gets well soon, and then we'll ream him for his opinions whenever he's 100%. But yeah, so a little bit of context, guys. Obviously, I've got 4 or 5 different videos at this point out talking about Halloween Ends. I've reviewed it, spoiler reviewed it. I've ranked and I've done the tier list. I got a timeline ranking come out tomorrow I'm excited about. And Rudy also reviewed the film. Give me a brief, like, 2-3 sentence kind of wrap up of what your thoughts on the film are. I mean, if you need a paragraph or 2, go ahead.
Yeah, give me
what's your overall thoughts on the movie?
I don't know yet, but the more I read up on what the director was shooting for in interviews, I'm still undecided, but I kind of like the idea they were shooting for. As of right now, it's mid, as the kids say. I know it's mid. Hey. So
I got your mid.
I like the ideas they were shooting for, but again, it feels like they're pulling it out of their ass and they didn't really think about it or see it through the beginning. They were just kind of shooting from the hip as they were filming this. So I'm still in the middle.
Yeah, I'm in the middle too. I think I'm a little more positive than you because I know the negative side of your mix seemed to be the louder side. The couple of times I've seen you talk about the film, and I think I walked in with even lower expectations with you, so that's even funnier because you were a big fan of Kills. You were a bigger fan of 2018 than I was, and so this one, even though we talked about it a number of times, the story synopsis and the rumblings that we had heard had made you kind of temper your expectations, but
exactly.
2018, it's fine. It's a movie that I like it a little bit more over the past 4 years than I did when it came out, but I still think it's a mixed bag. Kills, I dislike more every time I watch it. And so this was one where I was like, I don't even know what the hell this is going to be. And I walked in with as little to no expectation as you could have. And after watching it twice now and discussing the film at length, before I watch it a third time, and maybe my thoughts will change, I'm in the middle on it, but I'm leaning positive just because I like something new and fresh. But I can only say that about franchises that I don't have like this deep-seated love for. Like Freddy, I'm the first person to get pissed if they do something stupid and weird. Chucky, same thing. And so when it comes to Friday the 13th, Halloween, the goofier, the weirder ideas, I tend to be more forgiving on those, and sometimes they interest me more. Like Halloween 3, it's my second favorite in the franchise. I'm one of the few people that like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I even appreciate some of the weirdness about Halloween 6. I just wish we got a coherent cut of the movie. Go over to Friday the 13th. Jason Goes to Hell, I have some fun with. So this is a movie where a lot of the new, weird, bold ideas they were going for, I kind of dug where they were going for. And I dug the way that they executed it for the most part. But even with me saying that, it baffles me that they did this in the final chapter of a trilogy. It just seems like the total wrong time to do a Hail Mary like this. It feels like you should wrap up your trilogy in the way that you've been setting up for 4 years now. Give everybody what they want, for the most part, what everybody wants. And then if you want to go weird, okay, do a movie after that then. Do a follow-up movie, do an anthology movie, or do a continuation down the line. And so it's just a very weird movie. It's a very strange movie because it just feels like another one of those times that the creatives wanted to do something to divert expectations and subvert expectations when what, for the most part, everybody wanted was right there. Like, really, everybody walked into this movie and just wanted one last badass fight between Laurie and Michael. There's people that will swear up and down they didn't. People are liars. I'm just kidding. But for the most part, that's what fans wanted. They wanted a completion of this trilogy. That's what the trilogy has been building to. It's what it's been talking about. It's what it's been focusing on. You can talk about, oh no, it was really about this. It was about this. I don't subscribe to that
Yeah.
personally. It feels like this was some Hail Mary idea they came up with and said, that's going to be fucking weird. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie's got an 80% drop off now in the second weekend. It's
I wonder
one
if
of the
Peacock has anything to do with that drop
Oh,
off.
it certainly does have a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah, certainly has
Yeah.
a little bit, but I think a mix between Peacock and the word of mouth and everything like that all just kind of combined is just like, no, it's not for me, dog. Sorry.
And you know
So,
what's having me lean toward ends a little bit more is that first off, everybody, just so everyone's clear, like for Halloween movies, they're just slasher movies to me. When I go to see a Halloween movie, all I want is two things: a great soundtrack that I can play for my work jams, and cool kills. That's it. The story comes secondary, and that's not really what is important to me. And I'm watching all the old Halloween movies. I've been messaging you, Cody, like, "Hey, Halloween 4 is pretty cool." But I've been
mhm.
watching all of them, and to see the ideas they were going for in 5 and 6 and what they've done to this character in this franchise, that's horrible. And Ends is okay. So it's not the
Mhm.
most horrible film in the entire catalog.
It's not the
It,
most egregious.
yeah, there are others that are far worse, right? Resurrection, right? So I just wish they would have executed these ideas on paper better for the audience to recognize versus just these little hints and they're just shooting for, oh, it's deeper. It's not about Michael. It's about Haddonfield. Shut up. It's not about Haddonfield. It's never been about Haddonfield. It's
Yeah,
about Michael. They're reaching for that.
and that's where I have a lot of trouble with. Like, I get really frustrated with current modern film discourse because I think people they abandon what they actually know are good, sensical points just to find one little sentence
Yeah.
that sounds good to dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
And it's that TikTok, I'm gonna stitch your video and make you sound stupid kind of
Hmm.
thing. I'm gonna retweet you and make you sound stupid. And yeah, I saw that TikTok that floating around that everybody that loves the movie has been using as like their defense. Or like, look at this, she understands it. It's like it's all about evil and Haddonfield, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, but it hasn't. If you see it that way, that's fine. We all see something differently, but don't talk down to everybody like this never really was about Michael and Laurie. The fuck it wasn't. Get the
Yeah.
hell
If
out of
you don't
here with
get it,
that
you're
shit.
stupid. You're not a true
Yeah,
fan.
or you get the other
Shut up.
one that I love that everybody's been like screenshotting the screen time of Michael Myers between the 1978 film and this one.
40
And
minutes, man.
yeah, 1978 has like a few minutes less Michael screen time, and it's like you're comparing apples to fucking potatoes here. That was the first
Mhm.
film. That was a totally different style, and it was all about building up the tension and building up the idea of Myers through Loomis. We're fucking
Mhm.
13 films in now. We just want to see this bitch let loose. That's what Kills was all about, and kind of fucked it up.
You could have went
But
apples to pumpkins. That would have been a cool, you
there you
know.
go. Apples to
There you
pumpkins.
go.
Rewind. Apples and pumpkins.
Yeah.
Really quick, couple super chats, and then we'll get rolling, guys. Make sure you got Halloween Ends queued up on Peacock or any other means in which you may have it, which we won't speak of. Vanha, I believe. Sorry if I fucked up your name. We have similar taste. Best of luck to your family. You as well. Thank you. Break Ops. I love this movie. The problem was Corey was introduced too late, but it was such a great written storyline. Loved Ends. Yeah, I mean, if they had
Okay.
put Corey in the last movie or in all three, it would have been better. I
I
was
agree.
really okay with them introducing Corey. We'll get into it. There's a certain point in the movie where I was really on board for his storyline, and then they just lost me in one scene, and it just felt like the whole thing was a waste. And I've heard people's explanations for why it was that way and what it's really about, and I'm like, okay, well, if that worked for you, that's fine. But I see it as a gigantic fuck you to whoever was into that storyline. So we'll
Mhm.
get into it. We got lots of thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any more before we get started? Don't believe so. Oh. Nope, that's it. All right. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and we're doing a live watch along for those that have never done this before. We're not actually going to show the movie
Yep. Can show it.
because, yeah, you can't show it. You'll get your ass reamed in copyright and the video will get taken down before anybody sees it. So we're watching it on our own computers with our own headphones. You're not going to hear it. You're not going to see it. That's why it's a watch along, not a, hey, here's a free movie that's already fucking free on Peacock.
Mhm.
So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
One.
action. Peacock.
You know what I didn't like about the beginning?
The
The
music.
DJ music.
I didn't like it either.
Like,
It's so weird and foreign to even just this trilogy because they've opened up with that Carpenter like something
yeah.
that lets you know that that motherfucker's back, and then this just felt so strange to the point where I knew I was in the right movie because of the context what I saw it
Yeah.
in, but yeah, for a few minutes I was like, "Is
I'm
this
like,
the
we're in the
right
right movie?
fucking?" Yeah, I was like, That's not how these open up. This is weird." Which is kind of a hint that shit's going to be different in
Yeah,
this
so
one.
I'll give them that. That's probably what they were shooting for. Let's like it's not what they're expecting.
I
And to
do like the
me,
new Blumhouse thing though, where they got Michael in the back and The
yeah.
Purge and all their successful movies.
And I will say I love the soundtrack because this is the stuff I listen to, like
Yeah.
the Cramps and everything. So I do like the music this radio station plays. But I know you don't like Kills, but Kills did have the best pre-title sequence in my opinion. When it came to just the music, the ambient sound, and then the flashback to 1977.
I love
I
the
think,
flashback. That's my
yeah,
favorite part of the whole trilogy,
yeah.
honestly.
Here we go. Here's this.
Halloween night
Corey.
2019. A year later, what the fuck?
I know.
Couple super chats. David Coe, I can't decide which one of you grows a better beard. Neither can we. We
No, I
argue
can.
about that
This
constantly.
one, yeah. I got the
Yeah.
salt and pepper, dude.
He's
That's
got more color.
the women like that. So
They do. My wife is excited for me to get gray. I'm like, shut up, bitch. Damn. Right. Early congrats on 100K, Cody. Thank you, sir. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Kind of ironic. It might just happen on Halloween. It's gonna be hilarious if it does. I'm kind of hoping for that.
It'd be fate.
It would.
Fate.
It'd be amazing. Bidum-dum.
You know, their costumes don't match as a couple. She's a flapper from the 20s, and he's like a railroad
Chimney
conductor.
sweep or something. I
Yeah,
don't know. Yeah.
railroad conductor or something like that. Doesn't match.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
They're probably gonna get divorced even before the kid
Probably.
died. Yeah,
Yeah.
couples that don't match. Red flag.
It's a lot of fucking stairs. Stay Metal Ray, what's up, buddy?
I'm 30 and I can't grow one yet. It'll happen, dude. It'll happen. There's Jeremy.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite character.
He seems fun until John Carpenter's The Thing is on. He turns into a little fuckface.
Yeah.
Good idea for anthology movie without Michael, in my opinion. I agree.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was the final movie in the trilogy. That's always so. Am I the only one? Maybe it's the way that I was raised. Even if I'm told, help yourself, make yourself at home, I still feel like I shouldn't dabble in people's fridges
Yeah.
or open it. Or I don't know what it is. Something about the way my dad raised me. Even if my wife's family, they don't even knock on each other's doors. They just walk in.
Oh,
And I'm
no,
like, "Dude,
no.
I can't fucking do that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care if we're married 30 years. I still have to knock. Like, it's
Out of
ingrained
respect.
in me. Yeah.
Yeah. My
Tangent.
mom's family's like that. They just open the door. Hey, what's up? I'm like, whoa, no, we don't do that.
I was naked. Watching from emergency department. Congratulations on 100K, Cody. Thoughts on Corey as a potential new Freddy and a new Nightmare on Elm Street film? The actor?
What?
No. I mean, he's a good actor. I think he's good in the role, but no, he wouldn't be my pick for Freddy. But thank you.
Corey? This guy?
I'm assuming that's what they meant. Yeah. No, you're not.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of movies this year where they show them watching John Carpenter's The Thing in the background.
Really? I can't think of the other one. What's the other one?
Oh fuck! Now that I said it, I can't either. I know I've seen it a couple of times. It was another horror film where they were watching it.
I can't think of one. Definitely was an X or Pearl.
Damn, I shouldn't have even brought it up now. I had a total.
Somebody will
brain
know in the
fart.
chat.
Yeah, somebody will. I remember when I saw it in the theater, I was like, another one?
Well, I had it in the background when I was making my PT fan film a couple years ago. So that's probably what you got confused with. That's what.
Maybe.
Yeah. Ugly ass boy babysitter.
Chucky series. Thank you. That's what it was.
Okay.
I'd fuck that kid up.
Yeah.
The amazing thing about not being spoiled on this scene or Corey's arc is the scene does a good job at hiding if Corey is here with malicious intent. It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be a mystery if Corey meant to hurt the kid or not, would have made the story more intriguing. I was waiting on that. I was waiting on something to show that he actually like wanted to fuck that kid up or something, or something with his character. We'll get into it, but yeah, the third act totally lets this character and his arc down.
Everything that potentially I was liking about him, they threw.
Yeah.
There's one scene, and I think we're on the same page with that scene. So
yeah. See, this is their character development for why he's innocent. He puts the beer back and gets chocolate milk.
Exactly. That little shit, man. He just knocked over that lamp.
I will say this scene did a really good job at making you think maybe Michael's in the house. I mean, obviously that's what they wanted you to think, but it's effective the way they do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. And when we find out it wasn't Michael, I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little subverting our expectations there. That was all right. So.
It's a good opening. I think it's a good opening to a movie, really.
Your chat's like 50-50. Half hate it, half think
That's
it's okay.
The world right now. It's funny because I dealt with all of my Halloween fandom toxicity in 2018, and all of the channels that are like big Myers Halloween fanboys that seem like they pretty much love or forgive everything in the franchise, and they gave it really positive review. They're the ones getting it this time.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of them on Twitter, and I'm just like, I posted that GIF where it's James Franco with a little noose. He's like, first time, huh?
Yeah. It is kind of sus, as the kids say, that the kid took the knife upstairs. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that kid's obviously a fucking asshole. So
yeah, I mean, there's
if
jokes
it meant
and jokes.
for me to feel sorry for him, like as a parent, I should be mortified at this scene, but I was kind of like, kind of had it coming.
You play stupid
Also,
games. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes, kid.
That's right. That's right. David Coe. Also, was it necessary to make the kid that rude? He could have been a sweet kid and still played the prank, took sympathy away. I can agree with that. Maybe they were trying to soften the blow of how horrific the opening is by doing that, which it certainly worked for me. Because for those that don't know, everybody's got one or two things in movies, especially horror films, that will turn them off or ruin the experience for them. For some people, it's sexual assault. For some people, it's dogs dying. For me, it's kids or especially babies dying. If that happens in a movie, even if it's a really well-told story, it just kills the enjoyment. It kills the whole experience for me. So this should fall into that category, but it didn't. I was just like, that was kind of funny the way his head cocked up like that.
I actually look forward to kids dying in films. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
I hate kids. You know what? If they wanted, because we've all heard the theories and right about Jeremy was supposedly, because the mom says earlier he's like, hey, hearing voices, and he's wetting the bed, and that evil somewhat infecting them. Instead of, okay, if that was the idea, why not just have Jeremy just stand there still and not say a word, maybe in the dark, and him just walk off? You know, just something like Michael Myers ish.
Yeah.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
Bam.
Yep. Jeremy spoken.
Was a harmless little fuck.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of theories and ideas and explanations with this movie that make me roll my eyes. That's one of them. Where they're like, Jeremy was infected. I'm like, there's nothing but that one line of dialogue to even hint in that direction.
What's your timestamp right now, Cody? I think I'm like 30 seconds ahead of you.
9 minutes, 56 seconds.
Okay.
It said just right now is saying Rowan Campbell is Corey.
Got it.
How'd you feel about this opening with the pumpkins, like
I
opening up and revealing a new pumpkin?
It's not my favorite. I hate the animation. I prefer like an organic approach. Something
Hmm.
like, the camera's approaching one pumpkin and blood coming out of it, or this, it opening up and there's a skull inside. I like that. This looked too animated and CGI to me.
Okay.
But now that I kind of get everybody's theories and what they're talking about, there's like evil inside everybody. Is that what they're trying to
That's
convey here?
yes, that's what I took from it, and I do like that because it's kind of subtle just in the
Yes.
opening, and it looks kind of cool. My personal favorite opening is the original Halloween 2 with the skull and the pumpkin.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the 3 that we've had so far, I did like this one. It is more animated than the others, or the others look more organic.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that there's a little bit of subtext to the visuals
Yeah.
going on.
When you first see it, you're like, what the hell is this? But
Mhm.
after you see it a few times, it does make sense. But I think my favorite out of the new trilogy was 2018, where it's like this decomposed pumpkin,
Yeah, they
and it
filmed it in
just
reverse, yeah.
yeah, that was my favorite.
It
That
was a good
actually,
one.
yeah, 4 writers. That's always a good sign.
I saw that in the theater, I was like, "Oh, fuck."
I know. It's like a Picard episode where there's 16 executive producers, man. Like, oh god.
Mhm. Previously on Haddonfield.
Mm. Dun.
Have you, do you listen to the Talk Scary to Me podcast?
I only because you retweeted it, and I love Scout and Danielle
Danielle?
Harris. And I've met Danielle Harris. She's really sweet.
Mhm.
And I saw the episode where they met Jamie, and it broke my heart, dude, because
It did for me too.
yeah, I feel bad for them.
Yeah. That was, that was upsetting to hear because, Jamie Lee kinda has this hard-edged kinda attitude about her, but she seems also, like, very sweet, and you never
Yeah.
know until you actually meet somebody, but she's always had such a weird attitude towards horror, even though she continuously comes back and cashes in on it.
Hmm.
Like, the one thing that she says I still haven't quite forgiven her for is she was, like, bitching and shaming parents that let their kids watch horror, and I'm like, that's a lot of your fucking fans, lady, like,
Yeah.
let's not go there."
Hmm.
So that was the only time where she said something that really rubbed me wrong, but yeah, whenever I listened to the podcast and heard their experience, that was disappointing for me. I mean, I have a hard time believing she didn't actually knew who they were. That was the weird thing. Like, I
Well,
understand if you don't watch horror films, but for fuck's sake, like, you gotta have some kind of a
yeah.
consciousness of what's going on in your own franchise. Like,
You're like, who's
that just
playing me in the
seems
remake? Or who's my daughter? Like, what? Yeah,
that
come
just
in.
seems so weird to me. Like,
But to your point, she doesn't watch horror movies. I didn't know that because I was, like I said, I was watching all these interviews with David Howard Gordon is his name, and
mhm,
Jamie. And someone had asked Jamie, like, so where does this rank amongst all the Halloween movies? And she goes, I don't watch them. She goes, I
mhm,
hate horror movies. I don't like them. I only do them because I was kind of put in this place. So
mhm.
when in the podcast, when they talked to her and she said, I don't watch them, I'm like, she actually doesn't, but just the way it was set up. And, and you're right. I mean, if it's Halloween films themselves, I'm pretty sure you're associated with who is making what, who started what. You have to. You have to
Yeah,
look into it.
it's
For her to
very hard
say
for
it
me to
that way,
believe.
or even if she didn't know who they were, yeah, I played you in part 4. Like, oh, nice. I didn't know that. Nice to meet you. I don't watch those movies. I'm sorry,
Thank
but
you,
very nice to meet you. Can we get a
thank you.
picture? Something basic like that. Don't be a stone
Yeah,
cold bitch
yeah.
or an
So that
asshole.
was ugh. I hope at some point they either rectify it or Jamie says something about it or something. I hope the story doesn't end there, but yeah, that was upsetting to hear.
Yeah.
A couple super chats. It's Vanya, by the way. Okay. Terminator 1 and 2 rule. I agree. Break Ops. I will also compliment the lighting in this movie too. Some great looking shots, something completely absent in Kills. Ends was a course correction. I think all 3 of them are pretty well directed as far as shots and everything. Like that shot
Oh
in
yeah.
Kills where he comes out of the fire is
Oh, I
fucking
love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
So they're very well directed movies. David Gordon Green's a really good director. It's the writing of these 3 movies that I've had an issue with all along the way.
Yeah, there are too many good ideas, and I think they just got siloed with, let's go with this, go this route. They didn't really kind of think it through.
Yeah.
And most times, like this is what the second film of their Star Wars and a few others I can't think of, but where the directors are not giving with the fans what they're expecting. They're doing their own thing and making
Mhm.
these creative, risky takes. Last of Us
Yeah.
2 is one. This one
that pays off completely.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's the risk you run.
In The Last Jedi.
Yeah. That's the risk you run, unfortunately. You go bold, and some people love what you did, think you're brilliant, and other people want to fucking have your head on a pike.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure within their circle, if we were like just a fly on the wall, that does make sense, but put it on film. So we're not part of these discussions, but put it on the screen so we understand what you're doing. And I think that's where they missed. Yeah. Maybe there's an extended cut. I don't know. That explains it further.
Yeah. I've never had a pumpkin pie on Halloween. I didn't know that was a tradition.
Nor have I.
"31 on 31, UCP and Sean hate ends." I don't hate ends at all. I like it on the same level that Brian does, actually. We gave it the same exact score. But anyway, Brian loves it. Be the Friday the 13th of 2018, I think. Thoughts on the Exorcist reboot Blumhouse is doing? I have my doubts that they're going to greenlight it as a trilogy now with the lack of success of this movie. But yeah, I never liked an idea of an Exorcist reboot, regardless who's attached to it. That's a movie that's a one and done, and
leave it alone.
It's amazing that 3 turned out as great as it did, but even that movie is highly underappreciated.
I agree.
Story was weak, acting was tired, and the ending was lackluster. I don't completely agree with that. I agree with the last part, what you said, though. Richie, who's the best Laurie? Laurie kid, Jamie, John, or Karen? I would say Jamie. The order that you put them in is best to worst. Do you think these movies would have been any better if they cast Daniel Harris in Judy Greer's role?
I think there would have been more emotional tether to the material. I think, oh, that's nice. Little, nod of the hat. Maybe some would call it fan service, but I think why not?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think the only reason that they didn't bother with it is because they wanted it to be a very clean break from all the other movies. They want to confuse people.
But they had the masks and the part kills, so
that's the thing that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were really hard edged about we're getting rid of all these shitty sequels, and then they reference all 12 of these movies throughout this trilogy.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. Blumhouse is A Nightmare on Elm Street, or A24 is Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Can we switch those? Can I get Blum? Yeah. Let me get an A24 Nightmare and a Blumhouse Friday the 13th.
And why does she have a 55-year-old ex-boyfriend? This guy's too old for her.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm an old guy.
I don't know.
And I say he's too old.
She got daddy issues because he got killed, and nobody gave a fuck to even bother to look for him when they left in that truck. They were just like, "Oh yeah, there's another one of us."
Yeah. See, I watch movies with subtitles. I don't know if you do, but this homeless man here, he's singing about being on a boat, and there's a leak in a boat, and the water's coming into the boat. And I'm thinking, okay, is that purposely? It's there. Okay, so are they trying to say there's like Haddonfield's a boat and Michael is below as a hole in the hole, and evil's slowly seeping in?
Maybe.
I'm reaching here, man. You shouldn't have to work too hard.
You ask one of the 17 writers, and be like, "Oh yeah, totally."
Yeah, we shouldn't have to work this hard for a slasher, man. All I want is premarital sex and death. That's all I want.
Do I have the franchise for you?
There's Richard Brake Jr. I think he looks like a Richard Brake.
The one with the mullet?
Yeah. Like if Richard Brake were 16 years old, that's the way he looked.
This is what cracks me up, is that it's not even a jock. This is a band kid that's like knocking this fucking 20-something-year-old kid around like he ain't nothing.
It's the evil, Cody. It's the evil that's infected the band. That's all.
Geek yogurt or Greek yogurt goblin. I'm wanting to make a fan film where Michael's more like an urban legend who moves from town to town and kills every Halloween. That's an idea that I've wanted them to explore. When they said they were going to go back to the original film, I was like, yes, something like that. And then they said, and Jamie Lee's coming back. I'm like, again?
Let her go. This is the last one.
Yeah. Sean Sheridan, I respect how you can be in the middle on movies. Not this movie is God. This movie is garbage mentality. Most movie fans have. Well, I mean, I can be on that end with certain films, but too often nowadays, most people, at least the loudest people you hear online, it's either everything's either a masterpiece or ruined their life. There's nothing in the middle. And that's the first hint that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Mike Karp, Terrifier 2 greater than Halloween Ends by a long shot.
Oh, yeah.
I would agree. And I would have been, if you would have told me 2 months ago that I would say that, I would have told you you're crazy.
And everybody, we're at the 20-minute, 30-second mark, just for reference.
Yes.
And again, I do like this idea that the town is calling out Laurie as this psycho. Like, look what you did. Look what you brought to the town. I do like that idea.
It's part of that social commentary that they've tried to weave into these last 3 movies. You know, mob mentality was a big one in the last one, and this one's more like victim shaming and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really did like this first interaction that they had, though, where she's still kind of a badass, even though she's clearly got her shit more together. Or she's like, all right, let's fuck their shit up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see, here I know there's an attraction there that they're kind of implying. I just don't see it yet. It's like way too fast.
I
And
don't know. See, I'm in the minority. I think that their relationship stuff really worked for me. I saw a lot of people where a big thing that I saw was everybody saying that her character Allison she's way too smart. She would have never got caught up in that. And I'm like,
I was one of those guys.
she wasn't. Yeah, she wasn't. I don't think she was overly written as like a really smart character in the first 2 films, because she's constantly doing things she's told not to do. That's against a better judgment. Not book smart, by the way. Somebody actually knew that. She was literally in the honor society. I'm like, I'm talking about street smarts, motherfucker. So yeah, she makes a lot of bad choices, but clearly from this one, even from the cop that was just like, "Hey, babe, what's going on?" Like she's got like that kind of classic daddy issue thing where she's a little off the beaten path. She doesn't have a mother. She doesn't have a father. Yeah, Laurie's kind of her mother figure, but still, you can tell there's probably not a whole lot of guidance there, and so she's just kind of a little wild, and she sees this dude, and she's just like, "Hey." So I don't know.
I love that we see 2 totally different people, but that's cool. That's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
You see, I saw her like this victim who'd been through a lot of like crazy shit. All of her friends are dead. Her parents are dead. And now she's just a sole survivor with her grandma.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
and she's got to be like extra cautious with who she allows in her life. You know, like you know what I've been through. Goddamn it, you know.
No, I didn't get that side of it. She's definitely a survivor, but I don't know. I see more the reckless side of her.
Okay.
Hey Corey, you want to come over to my house and fix my
muffler? The timestamp is we're 23 minutes 30 seconds. Somebody's asking in the chat.
All right. Eddie G would love to see a well-written Wendigo movie that's centered and not a small curse part. I'm sure we'll get one eventually.
I'm surprised we haven't got one already.
Yeah.
You have shit on your back. That's a green flag, dude. She's touching you. There you go.
Mm-hmm. She's touching your dirty jacket.
Mm-hmm. She said there's shit on it. She touched it anyway. So like, hey, dude, right there. At the pants party. Are you saying there's a party in your pants and I'm invited? Yes. Did Michael put you up to this?
RSVP. I love how they like maybe they didn't make a big deal out of it, but they really marketed it with a lot of the press early on that they were bringing back Lindsey Wallace, because she obviously lived in Kills, and like she was gonna play a big part in the movie, and she literally shows up for 2 fucking scenes. She's like, "Hey, I'm a tarot reader now, and I'm a bartender. Hi, bye guys, have fun in the movie."
I saw a theory on TikTok that she was a witch and she was behind everything.
Oh my god.
Like,
Fucking
here's this time
TikTok.
she gives her the card, and now she's under the spell. Like, oh god, she started the change. She started everything.
What is up with this spaghetti sauce over that bitch's milk?
I don't know. That was a good transition, though. One of my favorite transitions of the movie.
I just noticed that. Like, do you not fucking swallow your food before you take a drink? It'd make more sense if it was his cup.
And is that his stepdad? His
Yes.
uncle? Okay.
That's what I took it as, his stepdad. So she's on his ass all the time, and he's just like, I know your mom's fucking crazy. I married her. So
Yeah. Poor bastard. And you got 500 people in the chat, man. That's awesome.
Hell yeah, baby.
Hello, everybody.
For those that are joining, Gen X Reviews. Oh, this way. Gen X Reviews is Rudy's channel, so please subscribe over there. I probably don't have the link in the chat or the video description, but I'll drop it into the chat here in just a second.
Thank you.
No problem. I usually put it in afterwards. I need to get better about doing it beforehand.
Okay. And everybody, I am trying to hit 10K followers, subscribers by the end of the year. And I'm not just asking, not going to bust my ass for it. I'm going to do lives. I've been doing a lot of lives, watch alongs, and reviews. So please come by if you like what you see, subscribe. If not, leave a comment. I appreciate it.
There you go, everybody.
Thank you, Cody.
Oh, damn. Did it fuck up? It might have. Hang on. Let me. For some reason I put the text together. Just in case it didn't work. There's another one. Sean Sheridan, I liken this Laurie is normal and not a Sarah Connor ripoff. Thank you. That was one of the biggest things that I liked about this movie was that Laurie felt like a human. And I really like this scene. I think that they do a really good job with their acting to where she clearly is just there to be interested in him. And he's reaching over. He's like, okay, you do this. And she's just like looking at him the whole time. And he doesn't even pick up on it. He's so like walled off that nobody could possibly be interested in him anymore.
That was me when I started dating.
Yeah.
After my divorce, like, you're interested in me, really?
Me? Behind?
Are you serious? But the fact that you're oblivious is a turn on.
Oh, yeah.
So I understand that part from Cody.
Final horror, thank you. Break Ops. I liked all of Allison and Corey's scenes. Romance and Halloween brought the heart, and it makes Corey's turn to evil more tragic for Allison. She liked him. Yeah, I just wish they would have capped off that storyline better. We'll get there. Are you guys burnt out on legacy sequels? Yes.
Yes. Give us new stuff.
Yeah. I hate the fact that the only idea I hear for Nightmare, they're like, delete all of them but the first one and have Nancy come back. I'm like, is there really nothing else you could fucking do with Nightmare? You have carte blanche to do whatever the hell you want, and you just got to do Halloween 2018. Do you guys think generational wiring contributes to movie taste? For instance, I'm Gen Z, and Kills is my number 2 behind the original 1978. Maybe a little bit.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe for some people, your generation changes you a little bit because of the movies that you grew up watching certainly shapes your music taste and your movie taste. Sorry, but I don't know if it's necessarily a rule. It'd be interesting to talk about, though.
Yeah, that's a good discussion piece. Yeah, because I know for me, like I've said before, Scream Part 1 really hit us Gen Xers because that was us. It was very meta, and that's what made it so fun. So does it hit the same with other people? I don't know. Other generations? It
didn't hit the same for me. I can promise you that. Yeah. I like the Scream franchise a lot more now, but as a kid, it didn't really work for me. I was like, okay. I really liked these scenes between Will Patton and Jamie Lee Curtis. I wanted more. I kind of wish he was more part of the final act.
That's what I said in my review. That's what was really missing. I wanted them two hunting Michael on Halloween night. Because they both had history, they both had motivations to kill him.
Yeah.
So the fact that they didn't take advantage of that is, oh, come on.
Yeah.
And it's Will Patton, man.
Oh, dude, I was pissed when they killed him in 2018. I was like, why the fuck would you kill him? And then when he came back and kills, I was like, thank God you came to your senses. I don't know if that was the plan or you just heard me.
Because to me, he's like Bill Paxton. He's like that everyday guy who's got great roles and he's memorable in what he does, no matter how small they are. And he's just a good guy. I mean, I love what he does.
Why are people defending this movie makes no sense. Because some people just enjoy it. Now, I agree with you. Some people's defenses are a bit obnoxious, but I'm in the middle. I like the movie more than I dislike it, and some people like it.
See, this is a good scene. I like this. Like, okay,
Yeah.
the town is angry for what happened, and they want to let that anger out on somebody. So they're picking
Yeah.
on
I was in the theater.
Laurie.
I was like, holy shit, that bitch lived.
She's like, kill me now, please. Just
I
kill
know.
me.
Can't talk. Can't do shit.
Yeah. Bitch.
Provoke nobody, motherfucker. His ass was already out killing before I even knew about it.
See, this is a good scene. We need more Will Patton.
Yeah.
Can I do my
I do
Will
hope
Patton
that there's
quote?
an extended cut on the Blu-ray. I
I
didn't
hope so
really
too.
want I don't know if there was extended cuts on the other two. It probably just added a little bit more gore, but I would like to see one with another 10 or 15 minutes added to it.
I got to do my Will Patton quote real quick. I don't want them to gain another yard.
Yeah. You
Blitz
blitz all night.
Best line of the millennium, man. Fuck yes.
I'm not a big sports fan at all, but I love a good sports movie, and that one might be my favorite.
Yeah. Rudy, not that I'm biased or anything. Rudy is one of my favorites, so I cry every damn time.
You know what movie I just introduced my daughter to that I love, despite the weirdness with the whole thing that Corey Feldman said that we'll never know is true or not, is Lucas.
I haven't seen that in years.
I've
Wow.
always loved that movie, and I watched it with her just the other night. It's on HBO Max. It's one of my comfort movies.
Doesn't there a bad tragic ending at the end? I remember
No.
that. No, okay.
I
I'm
mean,
thinking about it.
it's got a bit of a sad note with him kind of getting
Stung by
put in the
bees and he
hospital.
dies from an allergic reaction. No, that's my girl. Never mind.
Yeah.
Totally off.
Not nearly that dark. He just loses the football game and goes to the hospital.
Okay.
Movie would have been way better if Corey lived and they followed that story, in my opinion. We'll get there.
Oh,
I have strong feelings about.
I have
things.
a perfect way the movie would have. If this movie ended the way I have an idea about, I'll share that later. But
Okay.
if they ended that way, I would have been yes, and everything would have paid off.
Devin Lott, thoughts on Creepshow since it turns 40 this year? I've never seen it. Thank you for the super chat, guys, but let's try to stay focused on Halloween too, so we don't get too off track. But you can answer that. Do you love Creepshow?
I love the both. The Raft is my favorite short story out of the entire anthology.
Okay.
It's simple. And we're at the 32:30 mark. No, 32:40, I think.
Yes.
And again, I love the music. Great music, man. This is like straight out of my playlist.
The dancing, however, is not out of my playlist.
Hey, it's all about having fun, dude. Just move.
I have no groove. I don't understand the ecstasy with dancing. I feel like an idiot anytime I try to do it. So I wish I did. I wish I had some groove to where I could get on the floor and do his little shimmy shake here and feel.
You know what? Next time you're in Texas, we're gonna do that Footloose montage. Just give it for the boys. I'm gonna teach you how to dance.
Just do the feet.
Just give Cody a hand. Dead Kennedys, man. Like again, the score and the soundtrack are my favorite things about this movie.
Okay.
That's honestly.
Which is a good sign that a lot of shit did not work.
Right. What's your favorite thing about Halloween Ends? Oh, the score and the soundtrack.
I told people that one time. I don't remember what review it was, but I started off and I was talking about the camera works really nice, and everything was in focus, and the sound design's pretty good. And I said, and here's a hint: if I start off talking about the technical aspects, that means there's some fucked up shit in this movie.
Yeah, the Cramps, baby. I'm a human fly. That's one of my favorite songs.
Are you here dancing? Have a good time. I'm sorry. Is this bitch wearing the same costume as the night her son died?
Yes, she's been a mess since it happened. She hasn't changed or showered since.
I'd be like, oh, you just assaulted me.
Yeah, and your son was a dick.
I wish I kicked him off the 4th floor, you bitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. That wasn't last year. It's been 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy, I keep forgetting about that.
3 years, yeah.
Why that time jump still doesn't make sense to me. It does
Yeah,
not.
it's a little wonky because they just introduce it really quickly, and because the other 2 movies were same night too, it kind of sets up your
Yeah.
expectations a little weird. Are you fans of David Gordon Green's comedies? Some of them. I love Pineapple Express.
That's a good one.
I'm blanking on some of the others.
I'm not your fucking project. You see, that's too many red flags for a first date, guys. And I give dating advice. So that you don't want to be arguing out in the street like that.
Yeah.
So on the first date, come on. No matter how gorgeous he or she is. All right.
Watch long is far more entertaining than ends. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. I was still waiting for that erotic ending.
Erotic ending.
Michael and Laurie finally fuck.
Like CP said, they just need to hate fuck one time just
telling
to
you.
let it out. Like, oh,
All you hear is breathing. Let me wear the mask.
Like, you all right, babe? What's wrong? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right. Just give me a second. It's been a long day. I've been living in a sewer for 4 years. Give me a second.
I gotta kill somebody to get the juices flowing.
It's all right, Michael. What happens? Don't worry about it. Now that's a movie.
Yes.
That's a movie.
It's probably on Pornhub.
That's a good
already.
transition. I do like that. This movie has some good transition. So
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
All right. We got to keep an eye out whenever he lands on the ground because supposedly you can see Michael walking in the distance in the camera towards him. Some people have pointed it out, but I haven't watched it to check.
Okay.
Fuck you, Wally Cleaver.
Yeah.
Knock his ass off that bridge. I do love the fact that he just stares at him and then just walks right past him. It's like the ultimate fuck you.
Who's the girl missing on the billboard? Is she supposed to be from somebody from Kills or End?
I didn't get a good enough look at it to be able to tell you.
Halloweener. And his glasses are made of glass. No, they're no one makes glasses out of glass anymore.
Mm-hmm. Great acting from Allison and Corey in the scene. I love the awkward hand thing Allison does here. Unsubbing because your tier lists are awful. Okay. You're still here, though. So,
yeah.
Who wins?
Boom. Mic drop, bitch. Sorry. I can curse on your channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. Shit yeah.
Okay, let's look. Okay, you said they throw him off and Michael's like in the background, right?
After he hits the ground, I guess you could see him in the background on the right somewhere.
Ooh, whoa. See, missing Megan.
Last seen October. She must have been.
I mean, she's right there in the shot. They want her there for a reason, so I just don't know why or what.
Yeah. Oh, yep. I saw him.
You did?
Yep.
I didn't see it. Shit.
You saw him for just a second. When it first cuts from the billboard to there, you see the old man in the middle and you see Michael off to the right.
Huh. But why does Michael drag him in there?
This is one of those things. This whole sequence here is one of those things that is unexplained to a frustrating degree. I'm not somebody that needs everything spelled out for me, but sometimes it doesn't feel like you're leaving it ambiguous for creative reasons. It feels like you don't know how to fucking explain it, so you just don't bother with it.
Yeah.
Like, why is Michael staying in the sewer? Why did he ever stop killing on that night?
Yeah.
Why is he, if he knows and understands that killing rejuvenates him, why doesn't he just slaughter the fuck out of people? Why is he hiding out and just picking off the scraps? Like, there's so many things that just don't make a whole lot of sense to me as somebody that wants it to make sense, because I do like the movie, but I'm just like, this shit, I need more.
Yeah. Other than living with Master Splinter down there, like, why? Like,
yeah.
Like, kills ends. He kills a daughter. He's there. The cops are surrounding everything, and he's like, "I'm just gonna go to the sewer from here. I'm just gonna go chill out." There's no rhyme or reason why he did this.
Yeah.
And how he's surviving in a down here. I mean, come on. Okay, there's something I think that happens here that I know. The rat eating storyline has existed before in the other entries. Really? Rats?
He ate a dog, I thought, but I don't know. I mean, David Gordon Green, not DDG. Sorry, DGG. David Gordon Green said he didn't feel it was necessary to explain what Michael's been doing over the 4-year gap.
Okay, here's where they lock eyes, and supposedly the evil transfers, right? Okay.
Maybe. Or he just sees evil inside of him, or...
So Michael drags him in there, then hides behind a wall.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
That's a good shot there. I do like that.
Yeah.
I guess that's the evil transferring from the kid who was already infected with the Michael virus. This is a good shot. I love this shot.
I think there's two different ways you could take this scene. One is that he sees the evil that's inside of Corey and decides to let him go because he's like him. The other way is that he sees it there and there's a little bit of a transfer of evil in that moment because Michael is dying or deteriorating or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the explanation that he sees the evil in him or recognizes the evil and lets him go, but the movie doesn't do a good enough job at making you believe the evil was there in the first place because they set up that scene in the beginning as that it's a complete accident and they never revisit it as anything other than that.
Even the old man's confused. Look at it, the old man's eyes. I mean, is it the same as Michael's? I don't know.
I don't know.
I say you go back in there and so there's, I guess, what they're trying to say. Yeah, if you're around him, the evil infects you and you become Michael Myers. Because the homeless man's been living down there for, I don't know, a while. So that's why he's acting the way he is.
I guess. I don't know. It's so nondescript that you have to make these giant leaps to be able to connect the dots.
Hey, there's a big dick behind him right there. A big red dick.
Hey.
Suck my dick.
That's David Gordon Green to the Halloween fans.
Yep. You don't like the idea? Suck my dick. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Not now, Mom. The hobo is mad because he was supposed to be the chosen one. Okay.
Okay.
You were the chosen one. Okay. Okay. And this shot is very Michael Myers-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The girl is supposed to reference that Michael's been taking people into the sewer and killing them, according to a writer. Okay. Again, there's no fucking way organically.
How are you getting
that?
Yeah. And I get the movie trope. Anytime someone has glasses and they break and he doesn't have them anymore, he's seeing the world differently. So I get that symbolism. They've done it plenty of times in many movies.
There's callback to Christine there too. And I like that because that's my third favorite Carpenter film.
Yeah.
Nikki D, thank you so much.
These notes.
Charles Wright, I was not a fan of the movie. It was not good. There are good stuff in the movie. Overall disappointing. Plus, keep up the great work, Cody. You're doing great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me ask you this, because I was talking over the little Laurie thing, and we were the Laurie intro, and we were talking about the podcast. How do you feel about Laurie moving on the way that she has over 4 years? Do you buy that, or is it not work for you?
I think Jamie Lee Curtis, who's an executive producer, had a lot of say in how she wanted the character to go off into the sunset, right? And I think that was all her idea. Because I'll do it, but I want my character to end this way. And it's poignant, it's nice, but if we kind of step back and get the emotional weight of what she's trying to do there, this is Michael's franchise.
Yeah.
Not Laurie Strode's. This is not Jamie's. This is Michael Myers. So she's the final girl. That's it. And to take anything away from Michael, if you're going to do a trilogy, should be done maybe in the second film, not the final. You know, as to have a balance. But I think it was just way one-sided having Laurie kind of go with the ending she did. But I get why they allowed Jamie to do that, because she's been playing this for so long. So I get it, but I wish they wouldn't. I wish they could have gone another route. Her and Michael dying would have been better, maybe. I don't know. But Michael cannot lose.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where I can get over it very quickly and enjoy the movie for what it is. But I thought it was a very strange choice to have, because they were so heavy-handed with how broken she was and how obsessed she was, and how like Michael Myers consumed every second of every minute of every hour of every day of her life for 40 years. And then her daughter gets killed and she's like, okay, fuck it, I'm going to move on now. There's something about that doesn't gel with me. It just doesn't feel like the character that they set up. If they didn't go so hard with the brokenness in 2018 and in Kills, I think they could have pulled it off. But like I said, I can move past it quickly. Okay, fine. It's been 4 years. She's turned a new leaf, whatever. That's what you got for me. But that's something that I don't feel was executed very well across the trilogy.
I completely agree.
Watching this in science class. Hell yeah. Life choices, baby.
Those are some nice curtains. The spider webs on the piano symbolize evil.
Yeah. There you go. It's a web that just it goes over the entire city.
Yeah.
And they got to break the strands by. Yeah.
It's evil jizz just all over the place. You know, one thing I will miss, that I will admit that I missed the second time watching it, is that when later in the movie, when Corey is sleeping in the home, he's sleeping on the bloodstain. I totally missed that the second time I saw it. Like, oh, okay.
I don't think I noticed it the first time, but I noticed it the second time. I think it was the scene where Laurie confronts him. And I was just like, oh, this sick bastard is laying right there in the middle.
I heard a theory that Laurie's not even in the home because she throws a paper airplane at him. And how is Laurie going to know that memory if she was never there? So I need to watch it again. It's like, if you watch it, he gets up and she's gone. So it was in her head. It was in her head. I don't know. So we'll see.
This chick is miserable, dude. She's like a toned down version of the mom from Friday the 13th 5.
Oh, that one.
Come eat your stew.
Isn't that the guy on the bike? Mom!
Yeah. Oh, they hurt me, Mom.
Yeah. Part 5 is the one where we talked about where I cried when they killed the guy with the chocolate candy, right? He didn't deserve to die, Mom. He was just giving him candy.
Timestamp is 48:45.
Okay.
This is my third watch. This is Rudy's fifth watch.
Fifth and final. I'm not going to watch this movie ever again.
Liar.
Damn those enchiladas.
Yes.
Yeah, that cheese, man, will run through you.
So there's a cameo in the back here. Are you a Shinedown fan? I know you're familiar with the band.
The band Shinedown? I know of them. I couldn't name one song.
Okay. Well, the guitarist, it makes a cameo in the back here. And he's one of those guys that's been making some serious obnoxious tweets about this movie in support of it. It took everything I had not to start a conversation, because he's got a much bigger following and he seems like a type of douche that would retweet you and just send everybody after you. But some of the shit that he said, especially, I'm just like, okay, no.
Yeah. What? 5 times? Yes. One with my son, I went by myself, then one with a girlfriend, then one with CP, and then here. with the Cody Leach.
Yes. What's up, Dale? Keep being awesome. Cody can't wait for you to hit 100K. Soon. What if I just deleted my channel at 9999?
That would be pimp. That'd be like, whoa. Don't do that.
It was planned the whole time. Yeah. It was on the wall. Yeah, the guy that just raised the beer right there. Hey, that's Zach Myers. That's the guitarist for Shinedown. And he might be a nice guy. I don't mean to judge. I'm just saying from the things that he has said on Twitter, he's one of those guys where I'm like, oh, you're saying shit that you know is stupid, but you're saying it to try to outsmart everybody.
Mm-hmm. And maybe he knows things that we don't. I don't know, because he was there in the on set.
Well, one of the things that he says is everybody bitching about the amount of Michael Myers in this movie clearly has not seen the original.
Oh.
And I'm like, again, you're comparing apples to pumpkins. There you go.
Hey, there you go. Kick his ass.
I do like the fact that his balls drop in the scene. And he's like, all right, fuck it.
He sees the evil in his eyes. Oh, this kid's different. Oh my God, I've been on the force and seen some shit. He's got the 1,000-yard stare. That's what he's got.
Don't fuck with me, bitch. I just killed an old man who was starving.
I just killed a homeless man. Okay, sure.
Are you going to do a re-ranking of the big three franchises, Halloween, Freddy, and Jason? Yes. On the 31st, we're doing a special edition of 31 on 31 called 33 on 31, where we're going to be re-ranking all those franchises. And Sean will be ranking them for the first time. Part of the reason why we did it.
And now it's Drive with Ryan Gosling. And if you look, you'll see the scorpion in the back of his jacket. It's subtle, but you'll see it. I'm kidding. I'm fucking lying.
Oh, damn. I was really looking. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, how the fuck did I miss that?
Yeah.
I love this. You want to come upstairs and fuck me? He's like, maybe later.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Keep him wanting more. That's
I know.
That's a good move. That's
a whole twist of his personality. Where 2 days ago, really? Okay.
But then he go murder somebody right now and come back and then make love to her.
He kills the cop and then he's just like, okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back. He needed that extra stimuli.
There you go. That being said, are you a fan of Shinedown in general? I used to be. Have not liked their last 4 albums, maybe. Hate that James Jude Courtney is so good as Michael, but he's in this trilogy of meh movies. He's utilized really good, but everything around him is meh. I think that his legacy is only really kind of, I don't want to say tarnished, but certainly lessened by this movie because he's in it so small, such a small part. Like, I think he's my favorite Myers, honestly. And it's, even though I don't like Kills, it's Halloween 2018 and Kills. His performance back to back, to me, is the definitive Michael. But then you get here and it's just like, well, anybody could have performed the Michael that we get in this movie.
True. Mike and Corey on the bike would have made this movie a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Like, how else are they getting around town?
I swear I made a tweet about that. I was like, does anybody else expect, like, there's a scene where it shows him and then I expected the camera to pan over and show Michael like riding bitch.
Or get one of those side saddle cars, like that little buggy.
Oh, they gotta have like a parody scene of that on the Blu-ray somewhere. They have to.
Some YouTube creator out there, please, with money, make that. I want to see that.
Yeah, if you could put Tuco in fucking Infinity War or Endgame, you can do that. Follow-up question. Well, I didn't see the first 2 questions. If he does shit, does Michael shit with the full jumpsuit taken off but still wearing the mask? That would be funny. Just find him over there just squatting in a corner wearing the mask. This movie made James Jude Courtney go down in my Myers actor list. I get it. He didn't go down in mine, but this movie does nothing to help his. Even if you like the movie, it's not because of Myers. Yeah, I'm gonna chase the weird kid that's known for killing a kid into the dark sewer.
Oh, that's right, James Jude Courtney. I've been watching 4 and 5. He was Michael Myers in 4, right?
No, he's the one in this David Gordon Green trilogy.
Oh, okay.
The one in your Halloween 4 and Halloween 6 is oh fuck, it was on the top of my tongue.
I just saw it
George
too.
P. Wilbur.
Why is the mask in the cement there? Did you see that? Like, why is
it's
it
a
there?
face. Yeah, there's like a face there. I don't know what that means. Tag, you're it.
Get him. Maybe because he's evil, the evil's kind of just infecting the concrete. I don't know, dude.
This was the scene when I was watching it in the theater that I went, oh, people are going to be so fucking mad at this movie. As soon as they tag team this dude, I was like, oh, this is not going to go over well for a lot of people.
Yeah. It's like, show me how to do it.
Yeah. Okay, you take the knife and you go down.
Yes. And repeating stabbing motions.
Now we get this weirdly hilarious thing here where he does the little jig, the little jizz in my pants dance.
Yeah, it's the endorphins kicking in, dude. That's how he gets off. Yeah. Like somebody had a
this is what Rudy did. This is what Rudy did at the end of Black Adam.
Yeah, like, oh yes. Thank you, Rock. Thank you.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about two things? Number one, Michael being so weak in this movie, and number two, the implication that maybe killing keeps him alive or heals him or rejuvenates him.
I like it because it's different, but I just wish they would have went all the way through with it, explained a little bit more. I like the idea. Like I said, there's a lot of great ideas within the movie. They just weren't executed at all to the end of the movie. I have the perfect ending. If they had done this, I think I would have loved it more.
Yeah, we'll discuss all that when we get there. Yeah, I'm with you. I think here we go. My dick's so hard right now.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think he's ever made love. He's a virgin, so he doesn't know what to do. So he's just
I'm just gonna smell you. I'm gonna smell you.
Yeah. Get over here.
You're saying like it rough? Oh, okay. You kind of look concerned. Never mind.
It's not my blood.
Kills kind of fucks up the whole thing about Michael being weak for me, because I've heard a lot of people say, well, it's because he got beat up so bad at the end of Kills. I'm like, well, he didn't look that hurt at the end of Kills when he stood up and fucked everybody up. And then again, I really like the idea of, which they have one line of dialogue in Kills, the more he kills, the more he transcends. I like that idea that he kills and gets more powerful, or the evil strengthens him or whatever, but it's just that one scene and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is there. Like I said, I just wish they were more clear. And that's a callback to the first Halloween. Remember, Laurie's whatever, Michael's sister, and that one guy going upstairs for 30 seconds. They did the same walk. See, Michael's a wingman there. My man's hooking up.
That little piano cue.
Yeah.
It was like a subtler version of the original. Sex scene with no nudity is weak ass horror.
Yeah. I was surprised with 4, man. That probably had the best sex scene of all the movies. And then I watched a documentary about it, and it was a French director. And I'm like, oh, okay. Not 4, 5. I meant no, 4. I meant 4.
Where Grady is messing around with the top heavy chick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's hot. But you know what? Of all the actors who've played the sheriff, that sheriff in 4 and 5 is my favorite sheriff.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I like the fact that he listened to Loomis immediately.
Yes.
He was like, oh, he's here? Okay, cool. Let's go fuck him up.
And I love what he tells that guy, if I catch you groping my daughter, I'm going to use that on you. He's like, yes.
I was watching.
Dad would say.
Yeah, I think I'd messaged you. I was watching, Secret Admirer a couple of days ago, and Fred Ward's character in the movie does that, where he walks in, he's like, one more thing, you get her pregnant, I'll blow your dick off.
Yep. Damn right.
Michael must smell awful. Sewer, festering wounds. Yeah, I thought about that when Corey eventually takes his mask. I'm like, when you put that mask on, that's gotta be fucking
That's
rank.
gotta stink, man. Mold and ass and everything else, man. God.
Oh yeah, Lindsay's in this movie.
Okay. See, she's transferring power over to her.
Yes. She gives her the strength
Open
to
your
survive
eyes.
the third act.
Open your eyes.
I did like this scene with the father, kind of contrasting how the mother responded, where he's a little bit more graceful, I guess.
Yeah. It was just a horrible accent. We're at the 1 hour, 1 minute mark, guys. He had the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Devil's eyes. I only have eyes.
These eyes cry every night. Sing. My brother came all the way from Scottsdale. You're not gonna sing for him? You're gonna sing like a bird, man. Come on. The hurting's on me, yeah.
Everyone's entitled to their
and you broke it.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think some people like this film just to be contrarians. There's always some people that try to go against the grain just to go against the grain, but be careful about assigning excuses to why people have different opinions than you, because that shows insecurity. I mean, my opinion has to be right. There's got to be a reason why they disagree. Just careful that road.
You look so fucking.
Did CP point out on your watch along how ironic it is for Miramax to have a scene like this?
Yes, and he brought up the wine scene. Like, I think that goes best without saying, CP, but we all get it. but this, I mean, this does happen out there. I mean, it's just like, I get what they're doing, and that's whatever. But why is Michael and Corey going right now to kill these people? Where's the connection other than what's her face not getting the promotion? She didn't convey that to Corey. So how do they know? That's what I'm saying. Like, why are they here?
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about no nudity in the movie? This chick should have been naked. The whole scene was set up.
Damn right.
It's a badass.
I hate those faucet handles, man.
Oh yeah,
that's like an exterior, like for the hose, not for the
that's
interior.
ugly as fuck.
Yeah, it's something more neutral. Rudy, she conveyed that to Corey. Oh, she did. I must have missed it. This is my fifth time. I missed it 5 times.
We're trying to talk to make it entertaining, so we will miss a few details here and there. But yeah, I couldn't remember if she did or not. But that is the reason why they're there.
So like Chucky, promotion. Anybody that hurts her, he's gonna go kill. Is that what we're doing?
I guess so. I did like the way that they set this up, where she just turns the light on and he's back there just stabbing the fuck out of that.
That's cool. Yes, that's cool. And I love he's got that scarecrow mask. I'm like, hey, okay, everyone's finding their own mask.
Mm-hmm.
Plastic bag over him and everything. That's a decent kill.
Mm-hmm.
And he's new at it, so he's like kind of messy a little bit. Got what corkscrew and all that. So,
is it too soon for you to buy that he's going that evil?
Yes. I needed more. Like, I hope there's an
Mhm.
extended cut with him more descending into madness and into evil.
It
Like
was a
maybe
bit of a
killing
reach.
people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something
Because you
small.
got the homeless guy that was like basically self-defense, and then you get the
Yes.
douchebag that's borderline self-defense, but he just watched Michael kill him basically, and then now here he's like super psycho.
Michael hates pretty privilege.
A little throwback to the Bob kill.
Yeah, but we've seen this how many times?
Yeah.
You know, now tilt your head. Like, we've done that already, but do it anyway.
I thought they were going to show his wounds healing or something like that. Then that
That
would
would have
have
been too
conveyed
much,
that would
though.
have conveyed the whole evil heals you thing, and I was
Yeah.
just
That's a good idea, but I think that would have been too much. I think I would have laughed if I saw that. She's a fine 6. Well, we'll never know because she was never naked. So.
You still YouTubing?
yes.
See,
I'm live.
All right.
see, tilt
Scared
the
the
head.
fuck out of me.
Oh, there's another drive scene.
This is the moment where I thought they were going to show him, or maybe it was the one before this, but they showed him, and I was like, "This is the one." I thought they were going to show the mask,
Michael.
and it was Allison, like Michael's fingers.
That would have been awesome.
You're so good. You're a natural.
Yeah.
Plastic bag. I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
I love this movie because I wanted this direction since the ending of Halloween 4, and I never thought they would do it, so it was a treat for me. It's certainly an idea that's been explored in the franchise before, or at least brought up, and that is part of the reason why I like it more than most. I just think it's a terrible time to explore that.
Okay, the tower.
American Horror Story Freak Show did this whole concept first with Dandy and Twisty the Clown, even Teach Me, Show Me How, and even the Claiming Masks. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen it.
So the tower gave him hope. Okay. And it's nice to see the tower on fire later on, so I get that.
Hi, Amanda. Welcome. Timestamp is 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 52 seconds for anybody that's watching.
Exactly what I'm at. Cool. Now, this is dumb. This is something you do at 15 to try to impress your girl. Not when you're like late 20s. Come on, dude. You're wild. You're wild.
You're so crazy.
Oh my God, what am I gonna do with you? I do like that Darcy, the mill girl, was a receptionist in the building.
Yeah, her kill got cut.
I know, that sucks.
I saw her at Fantastic Fest for a brief second. Whenever I was in the lobby, she walked past with Chris Jericho to see Terrifier 2.
I put my arm around her earlier this year in February.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I have a crush on Darcy the Mill Girl, and my girlfriend got me a photo with her for Valentine's Day. It was me, Darcy, my girlfriend, and Bob, the Joe Bob, the driving guy. She's so little, dude. My arm, like, I did this, and I was like practically around her. She's so thin.
She's small. Yeah.
Very sweet too. And I had a Halloween 3 shirt. She goes, "Oh, I love that movie." I go, "I know it's your favorite. I'll work for you." That's how you roll.
This character feels like he's out of the Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah. It should have been Kevin Forhey. Like, what you kids doing out here? You know, business is business, baby.
It's time for the Joe Grizzly Bitch Hour.
God damn, I love Kevin Forhey.
The issue was they wanted to do this direction, I think, but Blumhouse lost the rights after End, so it's 2 movies shoved into one. Then don't do the movie.
Yeah.
Shane Winter, Corey comes off as too sympathetic in the opening scene. It's hard for me to just call it an accident. Keep your shit together. Much love, Cody, going through a tough time and look forward to your vids. Well, I hope things get better for you, man. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed message with how they introduce the character and then how far they take him and then where they decide to leave him. With pleasure. Oh, okay.
This is so odd here that she kisses him on the lips.
Oh,
And I guess it kind of go with like, hey, most of the psychopath killers this century had horrible mothers. That's well documented. Maybe that's what they're kind of throwing in there.
yeah. I don't know. Oh, Halloween.
See, here is the theory I heard again. He's sleeping on the blood stain, but Laurie is not there. It's in his head. So let's see if that works.
Sounds like bullshit, but I'll watch.
I know. I agree. I just let me check this out. See, why would she have a paper airplane?
Reasons.
Just because, Rudy, just because.
This is one of those moments where that Halloween Kills writing, the dialogue creeps back in. It's like, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Humans don't talk that way. It needs to die.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
First of all, how the fuck did you know I was here?
Right. Well, she was following him. She was outside the radio station with him.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Or both.
That's why she had the paper plane, because she's been sitting there for 8 hours.
Just watching
waiting.
him.
So she's like, fuck it, he's not waking up. Pop, pop, pop.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck are you, a vampire?
You're the one to blame. That's. Yeah, but you don't got a fucking job. You work at a fucking junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
How can you support her, you son of a bitch? See, I see this movie differently now that I have a daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, I would beat his ass.
Uh-huh.
They do. They do. I'm Hispanic, half my family's mechanic, so I get that. Yeah. See, she's gone. You see? You see?
Yeah.
So Laurie's not like Solid Snake,
She's like Batman.
You see? Oh, come on. She didn't move that fast. You see? So, okay. Laurie was in his head. I buy that. I kind of buy that. Where else did she go? Seriously,
it's just like that. It's just like that classic trope of movies where the fucking bus goes by, and then when the bus is gone, the person's gone.
Oh, the other thing, he was on a 10 speed at the beginning. Now he's got the bike. Some more transitions. Okay. I didn't buy it either, but I kind of see it now. It was right there.
Now, this part coming up was where I really knew everybody was going to be mad. Like earlier, I was pretty sure.
I know. I'm like,
this is the moment where I was like, oh,
like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, okay.
There's going to be people walking out and punching bitches in this one.
Michael's like, what's up, man? Let's get off me.
Hey, what the fuck? I love he just manhandles him. Douche.
Mm-hmm. Now the other stuntmen come into frame right there.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we just kill people? Shouldn't you be like a
Yeah,
lot stronger?
I know.
If we're gonna say that evil rejuvenates you, shouldn't you be more powerful than me at this point? Fuck it, give me your mask.
Blasphemy, man. Blasphemy.
Yeah, that was the scene where I was like, "Oh, you got some serious balls." And then he just
Yeah,
sits up. I love this. What?
yeah. Like, what the
Ooh,
hell just
did that just
happened?
fucking happen?
I thought we were cool.
Thanks so much for what you do on this channel. You're way too funny and distinct from every other YouTuber. Quick question: do you have other social media platforms? Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm on all of them pretty much. I've got a TikTok. It's Cody Leach Reviews. I'm on Twitter and Facebook and all that good shit.
Yeah. CP made a joke and like he said it wouldn't be funny if he spelled cycle wrong and they just walk up to the car. What's Cyhal? They're more confused and pissed. Like, what is that? Mm.
Pizza rolls, all my social media links.
Oh,
If you not this video, but if you go to another video, all my social media links are in the video description. What were you gonna say?
she just said I went to his home and talked to him, so it wasn't in his head. So there you go. She just has like
And she's
solid,
got the airplane in her hand.
yeah. She's got
She
solid
made
snake
another
stealth
one.
abilities. Okay.
She's like, look, it's proof. I threw this at him.
I want pizza rolls now. Deleted scene of Michael filing a police report about his stolen mask.
How can he get beat up by band geeks but drop Michael so easily?
Mhm.
That's the question of the day.
He's on the path to darkness. What was that song? So Allison's Padme and Corey's Anakin. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
And Laurie's kind of, I guess, Obi-Wan. He's on the path to darkness. Hey, hard target.
You were supposed to destroy him, not join him.
It kind of is like Anakin Skywalker in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tragic, Shakespearean. I don't know. Iron Baron says Loomis would be a Qui-Gon. This movie's missing a Loomis. That's, I think, just like Star Trek, you need Spock, McCoy, and Kirk. Halloween movies, you need Laurie, Michael, and Loomis. And that's what's missing here. I
talk about that in my Halloween timelines video. Whenever I get to the timeline involving H2O, I said H2O is the only movie to me post Don Pleasance's death that doesn't have this giant hole in its heart where you're like, where's Loomis? Like, that movie actually somehow survives without him.
See, and this is the equivalent of Michael of Anakin killing the younglings.
Mm-hmm.
That's because these are technically younglings.
You've ruined it.
Oh, God.
Revenge of the Shape.
Who said that? Did you just say that?
I did.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Somebody said it in the chat. That's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. I like that girl's hair. It's just like
Candy
wild.
cane, come on.
Yeah, candy cane, right? Where is candy cane?
Mm-hmm. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Unabashedly.
I agree.
There's 100%. A line of dialogue coming up that fucking cracks me up. It's so weird.
I know. It's so like misplaced in this movie.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Stop running.
And that shit's hilarious where she just pins her.
Yeah. I agree 100% with Rudy. Oh, okay. I always felt like Halloween is best when Loomis is trying to contain evil. Yeah.
Timestamp is 119:42.
Joey Diaz. Star Wars: A New Shape. Saber, yeah, lightsaber, same thing.
Classic horror movie. Somebody comes at you with a blunt instrument, you just sit there and scream, don't move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very Christine. But the bullies, if you're gonna go bullies, you got to go Christine bullies, like that one lead one who looked like Glenn Danzig.
Mhm.
That's the type of bully you want, not band member bullies.
My dad used to work with that guy's cousin.
What? Oh, Glenn Danzig?
The guy that played that bully.
Oh, yeah.
The head bully. Yeah. He used to work with that guy's cousin. They brought up
Ugh.
Christine in conversation. Oh, you're dead.
Mhm.
They brought up Christine in conversation one time, and he's like, yeah, that's one of my cousins, that one dude. Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Travolta was Carrie.
Yeah.
Here's the line right here, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
Who tells her friend that? Right?
Not move or run or behind you.
This is the
You're
equivalent
dead
of a
too.
lightsaber. He's igniting the lightsaber and just turning it on
Oh.
face down in the mouth. You see?
There you go.
Zoom. Round,
That's an awesome kill, but I hate the fact that it's
blurred
not
out,
the
right?
focus of the shot. And then we get like the
This is a
fifth
cool.
head stomp.
Yeah. See, that was a cool sequence. I did like that.
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Very Lost Boys, a main character named Michael, possessed by an evil that makes him try to turn his brother, played by Corey Haim. Villains luring victims to chase with motorcycles. I didn't get Lost Boys in this movie at all. I saw a lot of people saying that. The Christine is obvious, but I did not get any Lost Boys. I kind of see the connections you're kind of reaching for there, but yeah, I didn't get any Lost Boys in this personally. Get what you deserve.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Another great song by the Cramps. More Lost Highway, not Lost Boys.
I wonder if James Jude Courtney is playing him during these scenes, or if it's the actor that plays Corey.
Darcy. Oh, yes, you can. Did I just say that out loud? Sorry.
Yes, twice.
This is one of the better kills. I like this one. This is cool.
This is the best kill in the movie.
Yeah.
By far. One of the best of the trilogy, really. Just because of the little comedic closeout of it. Talk all that shit.
Yeah.
Woo!
Punking in the back. Yeah, that's a
very cool.
Great shot.
I like how he's even being method with like the Michael Myers walk and shit.
Yeah.
I gotta walk slow and not move my neck.
This was the Rocky V of Halloweens.
It's a little weird the way that they use her character here going into the third act, because okay, she gets into a fight with Laurie and then leaves, and then gets the phone call that hey, what's going on with your grandmother, and then goes back and then sees Corey's body and then leaves, and then waits 10 minutes and then comes back.
Yeah, and breaks a human bone.
Well, I know it was Corey. I know we're not looking at Michael Myers. I'm just saying, I wonder if it was James Jude Courtney doing that performance, or if it was the actor who plays Corey. Obviously, that's Corey.
She went to Corey's house. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. I would love to see a scene of Corey with the Michael mask texting back. Michael holding a smartphone. That would be awesome.
He just sends a pumpkin emoji.
Everything's pumpkin, right?
Or it just says breathing.
Michael just sends knives emoji. That's funny.
Now, how do you feel about this scene here where she's putting on this big, long, drawn out facade that she's committing suicide just to throw Corey off for a moment?
Why though? Why does that have to be suicide? Why can't it just be a burglary?
It's meant to be for the audience, to where we actually believe. I don't know who the fuck believed it, but they're like, oh, did she actually just do that? And then you get that bad, do you really think I'd fucking kill myself? Which is a cool line.
It is cool.
But it's a bit over the top for, like, okay, she knew he was coming that night, could sense that he was in the house, and then put it all on. I don't know. It's a bit much for me.
Yeah, I didn't buy it, but like, to what end? Why? No. And again, it's more for the audience to have that cool line to deliver. That's all it is.
Yeah. Like if she's got her daughter's picture, like, oh yeah, I have a daughter that got killed.
This is a climactic, epic showdown, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is just, yeah. If she was faking it,
yeah, another one of those ideas on paper that I think is just like, maybe, but the execution's like that.
Yeah,
doesn't quite work.
You're gonna fake it. Don't put your finger on the trigger. Just like maybe if that was a little visual cue, like, oh, she wasn't planning on doing it because she put her finger on the trigger. I don't know. And again,
I do like the fact that he feels like a big bad motherfucker, and then she just takes his ass out in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I do like that, but from here onward is where the movie dropped at least a whole point for me. Like, I was actually, like, in the theater, I'm like, this is gonna piss a lot of people off, but this is actually really working for me. I'm gonna be really unpopular for liking this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then from this moment forward, where they decide to take everything, just
Mm-hmm. And I like how he knows it's her because of the muffler still hitting the ground. I do like that.
Yeah, this just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the problem with your logic.
Okay.
Okay, if I can't have her, no one can, which he's calling back to the line that he gave 15 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
You just killed yourself. She can literally go fuck somebody else tonight.
I think the deeper part of that is that, okay, I'm doing this and she's going to come in and see that and think that you did it. So she's going to hate you.
Oh, for sure.
So if I can't have you, you can't have her. So I think emotionally is what he's going for, or at least the writers are trying to. Because physically, yeah, she can go do whatever, but I think emotionally is what he's shooting for.
I just don't understand what he wins here. I hate that that's the end of his character. I wish that there was something to where he went there to kill Jamie Lee Curtis and somehow she gets through to him for a moment and like snaps him out of the evil, or Allison is there and Michael shows up to get his mask and Michael's about to kill Allison and he snaps out of it for a second and fights Michael and gets killed. Something. He needs a moment of redemption if you're going to give him the opening that they gave him in this movie, to where he's clearly
Corey.
Yes.
Okay.
To where he's clearly innocent and accidental. Like there's nothing in this movie to suggest that he was always evil.
Yeah.
Or that he always had this darkness in him. There's just nothing to suggest that. They don't earn it. And so that is the end of his character arc. Just it doesn't work for me whatsoever. So as somebody that really likes the Corey character and somebody that
the potential of what he could be, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't end on the right note. It doesn't feel complete. It feels like they needed, oh yeah, by the way, we got to have her fight Michael. So fucking kill him and let's get this stuff going.
For me, like after he stabs himself, I'm like, okay, I was still on the fence. I'm like, okay, they can really win me back if they go with this approach at the end. And I'll talk about that later. But what ruined it for me is Michael coming and breaking his neck. I'm like, fuck, no. Because, okay, I'm just going to tell you now, the ending that I wanted is here. Like he's dead, right? He stabbed himself in the neck. There's no fight here. Michael gets the mask and they have their showdown, right? But at the end, when Michael goes into the meat grinder, everyone has like a breath of relief and it's over. But then it cuts back to that scene and he just stands up and then credits. That would have been fucking awesome. That would have been fucking awesome. And then I would have loved this movie. I would have loved it. But no. They didn't have the balls to go through with it. That would have been perfect.
I do like that idea.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to make love to my girl tonight.
There you go.
I feel
Scream
good.
my name.
Like, Cody, like my idea.
Cody, like my idea. Yeah.
Oh! That would have been fucking perfect, dude. Again, that would have made me love this. This would have been one of my top 3, maybe top ever Halloween movies.
I would have liked that, and it definitely would have redeemed what happened there at the end. Like he gets ground up, and now the evil just completely in Corey, and he does the Michael Myers sit up.
Yep. Then boom, cuts to black.
Because
like even Laurie's, she's writing that novel. She goes, "Evil doesn't die; it just changed shapes or finds a different form." And I'm like, "Oh, that would have been perfect." No, they fucked it up.
Yeah,
Rudy, I really would have liked that ending. Oh, just I mean, it would have made sense. I would have been on Corey's balls until the next movie. I would have, yep, I'm a Corey fan. I loved it.
Now we get the epic scuffle.
The best showdown they had was in 2018. There's nothing that could top that.
H2O.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater. I loved it. Total boss ending idea.
And now porno music.
Like I say, I love the soundtracks, the score. I play it all the time, so I do love it. Wouldn't tie it to porn, but what kind of porn you watch? Send me the link later. Just kidding. See, and Corey taking over.
Go ahead.
Okay. Corey taking over and standing up at the end would have made sense because Michael's on his last leg. He's weak. He died. Okay, I get it, but he still technically lives on.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fucking perfect.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I was really afraid when I saw the first trailer that they showed the whole third act. I was like, please tell me that this is not third act shit, because they basically
Mhm.
just chopped up this whole sequence and showed it to you. Don't touch my mask. I just got it back, bitch.
Oh, fuck.
I do like the method of how she kind of pins him.
Yeah, but you know the strength you would need to put a knife through like 4 inches of wood?
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie. Shut up, Rudy. Just shut the fuck up, Rudy. Doesn't matter. There you go. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. This is funny. Sorry. Again, Corey living at the end would have made up, because this is so pathetic for an icon
Mm-hmm.
to die this way. They're gonna bleed him out.
Yeah. I
It's
wasn't.
just
It's weak.
a Christ metaphor. That's like, oh,
I
okay.
saw somebody. Oh God, don't go there. I saw somebody. I think it was a friend of mine. He said that they knew that they weren't going to top the ending of H2O, so they didn't bother to go big. They went small and quiet. And I'm like, but they could have topped H2O. It's
Mhm.
been 20 something years. Like, you could have come up with 1,000 ways to top H2O. Like, H2O is great. It's badass, but there's 100,000 different ways you could have gone big. I mean, the grinder in and of itself is pretty big, but he's already dead at that point. Like, you could have had a fucking showdown at the damn junkyard, and she fucking kicks his ass into the grinder.
Yeah.
Something. But they try to end like poetically, where she's gonna, pull out some more of that Halloween Kills dialogue. You're just a
Yeah.
man, even though this movie said
Yeah.
that you were supernatural 45 minutes ago because you killed a
Mhm.
man and started getting evil powers. Another thing that they can't decide on in this trilogy: is he human? Is he supernatural? Is he
We'll
both?
never know. It's just poor guy with mental issues. That's all it is.
Yeah. Pull another resurrection. It was the homeless guy.
This is the
Michael's
part
still in
that
the
cracked me
tunnel.
up in the theater. This happened. I started laughing like,
Oh, her line is so bad.
yeah. And then we don't need this montage of clips. We get it's 40 years. We get the history. That's why
Yeah.
we're sitting here.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this. And then,
It's Allison's line that kills me.
yeah, I laughed in the theater,
Her
dude.
attitude changed. "Ah!
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let this happen to you."
Hassan Chop. It's just like, come on, like, when was she trained to break bones? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dick here.
No, you're
Yeah.
not.
It's just like,
I'm not gonna let this happen to you. What the
it's
fuck? You hated me 5 minutes ago, bitch.
yeah. It's just so forced, man.
Yeah.
That's like a studio executive coming in and saying, "No, we need this to come in and happen." Like, no, God.
Yeah, this is the weakest part of the film to me.
Mhm.
The part that they sold the movie on.
Like I said, I'm doing a Halloween rankings myself, dude, and I'm
Mhm.
watching all of them all over again. And like I said earlier, before we started the live, like everyone says this is the worst one ever. No, go back and watch 5
No,
and 6.
it's not. It's
Those
not.
are horrible. Great ideas, but just executed horribly. Those are horrible. This is not bottom tier.
No.
What disappoints, I think everyone's upset about, is this had so much great potential,
Mhm.
and they totally missed it.
Yeah. The sequel opens with his meat chunks falling into a box and sent to a meat factory, turning them into hot dogs. Halloween or the Curse of Oscar Myers. Okay.
Rudy, did you say the way you wanted it to end? Yeah, I did.
Go back to the scene where Corey's final scene,
Yeah,
and we talk about it.
right before Michael gets the mask from him. Part 6 is my top 3. What the hell? Just
Dude,
kidding.
6 has some passionate fans. I don't get
Yeah.
it, but it does.
I remember leaving
There's
6.
people that say that Paul Rudd's performance is amazing in that movie, and I'm like, what fucking Paul Rudd performance did you see? Because I love Paul Rudd, and he's horrible in that film.
Yeah, is that the one where it ends where Loomis is like walks in and just screams, and then it cuts to black?
It's got two different endings. It depends if you watch the theatrical or producer's cut. The theatrical cut, he walks back in, and it just shows Michael's mask on the ground with like the syringe, and he just yells. And then in the producer's cut, he looks at his arm, and the Cult of Thorns symbol just shows up in his arm, and he goes, ah! And then it ends. Both cuts equally non-coherent. But yeah, if you haven't seen the producer's cut, if you're
it's on YouTube, right? I think I've seen that cut.
Probably. It's a very different movie because it leans a lot more into the cult stuff, and Jamie's death is totally different, and there's some other stuff, but both cuts as is aren't good cuts of the movie.
I like how they wake up the town like, wake everybody up. Yeah, we got them.
No phones.
No phone, no cell phones, no social media.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1 a.m, sir. I don't care. We want everybody out here.
Got the most useless sheriff in the world here.
I know. He finally shows up at the end. Like, where the fuck you been?
Yeah.
I get the symbolism, but it just doesn't work. It's over. I was laughing. I think I texted you after I walked out of the movie. I was like, I was laughing during this scene. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
really?
It's
they got him tied down on the car like game, like a deer, dude. It's like so fucking pathetic. Yeah, I think that's what makes me angry. The character Michael Myers, they just treat it with such disrespect. I think that's what I don't like about it.
It's just heavy-handed. The whole trilogy's been heavy-handed with the Haddonfield shit. And it's just like, guys, for the original that you all love so much that you're trying to get back to, it worked because it was so subtle and simple.
This is so,
and it's everything else since then just goes weird, or like this trilogy is just so heavy-handed with the evil and Michael and his effect, and it's like, no,
this is so
I've seen a few people suggest how crazy it would have been as she pushes him into the grinder, he grabs a hold of her. Would you have liked that?
I would have laughed my ass off. I would have laughed just to see Laurie die a painful death.
Yeah.
That would have been so dumb, but
yeah, I wouldn't have cared for that. I don't think it would have made sense, but it certainly would have been shocking.
Yeah, at this point, nothing could have saved the film for me because the Corey had already been dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's just.
If there's going to be a way to definitively kill him, though, that's a way.
Well, maybe his blood trickles down in the ground, and it rains, and the rain takes the blood, and the soil gets in the corpses.
There you go.
That's not Return of the Living Dead. Never mind.
Touches somebody's eyeball like 28 days later.
Want a party? This is no.
Thanks, asshole.
But it turned me on, Grandma.
I'm only saying this because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fucking idiot.
You guys should have wrote it. Thank you. Where's my check? Again,
finally gets treated as a hero, and Allison leaves Haddonfield, and everything wraps up in a nice, neat little bow.
Yeah.
She finishes her novel, gets some dick finally.
Does she?
That's a suggestion that I got. I mean,
metaphorically,
he's talking about fucking cherry blossoms.
Mm-hmm. See, it changes shape. We have this symbolic ending, and then maybe just cut to the morgue, and you have that mortician eating a sandwich over the body. What do we got here, huh? You know, we got another one, fresh one. Corey Cunningham. Really? That kid with the glasses? Yeah. Caught with the Myers mask. No shit. All right, I'm out of here. Bye. Go, and he just. Hey, okay, I'll be right back.
Eyes open.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, there's the metaphor for dicks. Is the vegetables is what you're going with, right? Cucumbers and carrots. Is that what you're going for? Probably not.
Well,
Eggplants.
it's just a basket of eggplant, cucumbers.
Oh, that's funny. Listen for the.
I do like the way that it ends with these shots of the house, like the
Yeah.
original film, but there's no breathing, and then it ends on his mask.
I never noticed the mask right there. Can you fucking believe it?
Oh wow!
I never caught that. I was already totally vested out of it, man.
Halloween ends, and then it just says ends.
Yes.
Or does it? Question mark.
David Gordon Green, I saw in an interview earlier today that he had an ending that he wrote, but he never filmed it. Is that after that scene, it ends with a factory manufacturing masks.
Silver Shamrock masks.
And then the last mask is Michael Myers' mask.
Yeah, there's a part of me that would have went batshit for that just because of how wild it is, even though it makes zero fucking sense whatsoever. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go for that because they'd have been like, okay, you really got to explain that one now. But it's a neat idea on paper.
Yeah. On paper, and again, nice fan service, but I don't know. I don't know, man. So 5th time, what do you think? For me, I mean, 3rd time for you, right? I'm sorry.
Same thoughts. I mean, very rarely do I change my thoughts a whole lot on these Halloween movies. I liked it a little bit better on second watch than I did the first watch, and this one kind of just it's right there in the middle for me. It's like 3. I think I gave it 3.25 out of 5. I'm fine with that one. 3.5 at tops. There's a lot of ideas that I like in it. I like how bold it is. I like the whole focusing on the transference of evil and evil as an infection. Like all these are really good ideas. I think that none of them come to a satisfying conclusion in the story. And it's just a terrible time to explore those ideas. Like I just don't, as much as they keep swearing up and down now that this has always been the plan, I don't see that. When you watch Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills, I don't see gigantic hints towards where this is heading. Like, yeah, they could say, okay, it was about Haddonfield. Like, okay, they talked about Haddonfield. They talked about the people getting a little bit crazy in Haddonfield a bit in Kills, but that was mob mentality, not evil infecting them. And so to me, it's like square peg, round hole arguments where it's just like, if you like it, that's fine, but you don't have to like really go over the top with how brilliant it is. And it was perfect. And it was set up. It's like, no, it really wasn't. I'm telling you that as somebody that likes the movie, but I just see them trying to do some wild idea. And I don't know why anybody approved that wild idea. Because if I was a studio exec, I'd be like, look, I like the creativity here, but that makes zero fucking sense to do when you've already set up a trilogy and we're just trying to close out the story now. You're talking about like the next generation of shit.
Yeah. If Corey, like you said earlier, and I think a lot of people have said, if he had been set up in 1 and 2 as just some kid or like somebody's friend, like, hey, that's little Corey Cunningham. Hey, go home. Your dad's looking for you, kid. You know, something like that. As long as we got to know him or knew of him in the previous films, and then this happened to him, I like that. Maybe go with like a Harvey Dent approach, where it's like a tragedy where, you know, he's a good kid, but he gets consumed by evil, but we don't know it's him until they remove the mask at the end. And it's Corey, you know, something clever like that. But I totally agree. It looks like they had an idea to keep it all in one night that we've heard, but then they had so much time on their hands and hey, let's go this other route. And I get the ideas. I'm just repeating everything you just said, but like they should have just left it alone, kept it all in one night. There was like an intensity, like a flow, urgency, and all happening on one evening, and then to separate the film 4 years after the fact, it just really didn't do well for me. Nothing transferred over.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is I saw so many people back whenever they first announced, not too long after Halloween Kills dropped, that they were changing the script up a little bit and it was going to be a 4-year time jump and all those little reports that came out. Even when they were talking about COVID was going to be part of the movie, which I don't know what the fuck they were talking about because it's not in the movie unless they cut it.
Yeah.
When those initial reports came out, a lot of people, the vast majority, if not pretty much everything that I saw, everybody was like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? Like, it was perfect. It's all one night, a trilogy all in one night.
Yeah.
And that's another one of the things that I've seen now. Like, now that people have seen Ends and they like it and they're trying to defend it, they're like, well, it wouldn't have made any fucking sense to make all three of them one night because it just would have been ridiculous. Like, how it would have been taking too much time. There's no way all that could have happened in one night. And I'm like, okay. That's not what you said a year ago, for one. And these movies are an hour and 45 minutes a piece. So that's like what, less than 5 hours between three films. Yeah, you can make that work very easily. But nonetheless, it's just one of those movies where the discourse around it has been frustrating because you get the it's the worst of the franchise. It's the worst movie ever. It's ruined my life. And then you get the other people that's like, it's the most poignant thing I've ever seen. And they set it up so perfectly. And it matches all of the themes and everything that was set up in the first film. And I'm like, guys, even the first film is not that fucking deep. That's part of the reason why it works. And that's part of the reason why John Carpenter just rolls his eyes and laughs and puts his hand out and gets his fucking check every time. Because he's like, go ahead, make another one. It was such a simple, subtle idea.
It was a slasher movie. A babysitter killer. That's it.
It was so simple to the point where retroactively, a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people haven't even really liked the first film as much over time because it's so tame compared to all the other ones. But you get that, yes, there's a little bit of ambiguity about is he pure evil or whatever. And it's subtle with how it decides to not answer that question. All you really get is Loomis's stuff. But beyond that, that movie was not something that was setting up this huge lore and all of these themes and all these explorations of it's not that movie. You're remembering the movie entirely wrong. You're assigning shit to it that the sequels brought up.
John Carpenter never was like George Lucas. I didn't have a whole story and I just just wrote the first half and the other part sat on the shelf. Nothing. No, it was just a babysitter killer. That's all. That's all it was, man.
It was called the Babysitter Killer or the Babysitter Killings or whatever before it was called Halloween. So it's just it's funny. And I love John Carpenter, how he just has no shame in admitting that. He's like, I don't give a fuck about any of these sequels. They're all stupid. Like, whatever, do your thing. Give me my money. And even the second film, he's like, dude, I had to buy a fucking beer. So I wrote the damn script. Daniel Skinner, after seeing Ends and the whole franchise, I can comfortably say I am permanently retired from watching any more Halloween movies. Will you do the same? No. If they make more, I'll watch them.
I'm not there yet. I think they should rest it. And money's money. I know they're going to.
I want them to rest it. Don't get me wrong, but I think I'm not just like retired. Like, I'm done with this franchise. Never watching it again. Like, no, they need to take at least 5 years off,
minimum, at least, and just kind of separate themselves. But go another approach. Maybe reboot it. Why don't we get a female Michael Myers, something like a sexy Michael Myers, and I don't know, something different. I just want something different. Like we've said many times in different lives. I just think it's creatively bankrupt because it never was supposed to be anything bigger than what it was. And what else can you do? Honestly, what else can we do? If they make a movie 5 years from now and it's Michael doing the same thing, we're just going to be complaining about it, dude. It's tired already.
Yeah, we'll see. It just depends. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. Like, say you're in charge. They're asking you right now, like, okay, what do we do next?
I would go with the anthology approach that Carpenter had pitched back in the early 80s. Let's just make Halloween a different film. Like, just go with different approaches. There's a lot of love for 3 that we didn't have when it originally came out. So now that love's present, let's capture that market and go with that approach and just see what this does. I would go that route. Just something completely different.
This is
have
not
Michael tied to it, but just something different.
Gotcha. This is not the most creative idea in the world, but this is not the most creative franchise in the world either. So sue me. If I was in charge this moment and they were asking me like, hey, you got to decide right now, especially in light of what just happened. But even though I thought this even before that, I would have them go back and do a direct sequel to Halloween 4 and pick up from that ending and do it right.
That would be a good idea.
Fuck
so
all
you
the
wouldn't
Man in
mind them
Black
kind
and
of
the
like
Cult of Thorn and
you wouldn't mind them kind of going off and just piggybacking off of something that was already made and just making a new trilogy like 4. I guess.
I don't
Okay.
even know if there needs to be a trilogy. They can just do one movie and see how it goes, really, or whatever. But it just, at most, they need to have a 2-movie idea, a solid 2-movie idea, which this trilogy started off as, and then it turned into a trilogy, and it kind of shows.
Hmm.
But I think that there was big missed opportunity at the end of Halloween 4 with the way they followed it up with 5, because 5 just ruins everything that's great about 4. I would love to see Danielle Harris be able to come back and get her time to shine again as Jamie Lloyd as an adult. Um, I think there's a lot of interesting things they could do with the whole transference of evil that they clearly want to explore with this movie, but do it with a character that we all know and love, and that's already been established.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I'm somebody that I never used to like Halloween 4, and I've really warmed up to it over the years to where it's really climbed my ranking. And I think that there's just so much that was set up so well in that movie that was
Yes.
squandered with the next 2 films that I'd like to see somebody go back after a couple of decades of taking notes and going, okay, we didn't do this very good the first time, so let's go back and continue on. Like, what's Jamie doing now that she's killed her
Yeah.
foster mother, and what's going on with her?
So kind of doing what we hoped a few years back, is like cancel out Alien 3 and make it another sequel
Yes.
to Aliens. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It's not the most original idea. If I had to come up with an original idea, then it would be just like a full-on reboot from the beginning, like get rid of John Carpenter's, basically do what Rob Zombie did, but not the way that Rob Zombie did. That's the only other thing I'd like to see. Do something completely fresh with this, but
Yeah.
it's such a simple idea. It's hard to really go back and do that idea again.
And you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna confess to your audience and you, and I haven't said this vocally, but it's been running around my head for a week. So you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Ends makes me appreciate Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's not as terrible as I thought it was. Why? I'm still kind of contemplating that, but I actually appreciate Rob's movies, especially those 2, versus what we've seen here. He took a risk and he saw it through the end. It was a radical idea, but he saw it through. Oh, this movie had some radical ideas and lost its balls, halfway through the end with a shitty 15 minutes when they should have ended that. So I appreciate Halloween 2, Rob Zombie, more than ever. Don't you patronize me, you son of a-
That's what I like about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because it is 100% a Rob Zombie Halloween idea. The first film feels like he's shackled to John Carpenter's film. He has to have things happen the same way. He has to have certain things put in place. And then you get to the second film, and for better or worse, a lot of people would say worse, it is his own idea from start to finish, top to bottom. It is exploration of grief and PTSD and all that, like we were trying to do in this trilogy. It is a very different take on Michael Myers. There's so many things in that film. I still hate the white horse shit.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of this version of Loomis, although I don't think it's completely unbelievable. He's just not a likable version of Loomis, and I think Loomis should be likable. And while I think that it works for the story, I understand some people saying that they get rubbed wrong by Scout Taylor Compton's Laurie in that movie, and it's just because she's such an unlikable person in the movie because she's so fucked up.
Yeah,
I get all of those. Everything else with that movie, I just think is misunderstood or underappreciated, because I think that it's got a lot more going for it than a lot of people give it credit for. So I don't know. That's just one of those movies that, for as much of a quote unquote Rob Zombie hater as I am, it's just I
don't think you're a hater.
I'm not, but a lot of people think that I am, because I'm not overly positive on any of his movies. I really only gave positive reviews to maybe 3 of them. But his style doesn't tend to work for me. His writing doesn't tend to work for me. But for whatever reason, in that movie, I think it works the best. So that's the island that I die on.
And I'm on the boat headed to the island, but I'm not sure, because I don't know if I see food and water.
And I'm just waving in the distance like, hey, somebody!
That's in my head. That's not Cody.
I got paper airplanes for everyone. If you could write the next movie, what would you do with it? And when do you think we'll get another movie? Well, we actually just answered that question like 5 minutes ago. Actually, like 100% what you just asked. When do you think we'll get another one? I would be shocked if we're not hearing about another one in 3 years. We say it needs to be at least 5, but they're not going to fucking wait. I don't think. Maybe with this movie not making as much as they wanted it to, maybe they will. But Blumhouse isn't going to be in charge of it, so I don't know who gets the rights, who would be producing the movie or whatever. So, it's just,
I'd have to really think about who I would want to direct it and write
yeah,
it.
it's a property that they don't know how to let go. They don't know how to let it rest. You know, they don't get out when the getting is good as it is. So, I would be shocked if in 3 years we're not hearing reports of, ooh, a script's been greenlit or something like that. But I think they need to take off at least 5 years.
Oh, there's a super chat for me. How weird. Okay, on your channel.
Ooh.
Okay.
What are Rudy's thoughts on Sleepaway Camp 1?
Believe it or not, I saw it a long time ago, like in the 80s as a kid, and I totally forgot about it. I saw it recently about 8 months ago. It drags a little bit most of the time, but the last 15 minutes are like, holy shit. I really appreciate the kills and the curly iron death.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
of
really
course,
like that movie.
yeah, it's just 80s, and I really enjoy it. I haven't seen any of the sequels, but I really do enjoy it.
The sequels are fun in their own way. They're very different. But yeah, I'm somebody that I'm a kind of a hard audience when it comes to the corny side of 80s slashers. Sometimes they don't really work for me because I don't have nostalgia. I think sometimes that corniness, that campiness requires a little bit of nostalgia to work for you.
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp's one of the few that it just worked for me right off the bat, to where it feels so intentionally bad and yet so unintentionally bad in equal amounts that it's kind of fascinating to watch. And I really have a good time with the first one. I didn't like the second one at all the first time that I watched it, but I appreciated it a lot more when I watched it a couple months ago to review it. Third film,
There's
not as good as 2. There's technically like 5 or 6 of them, but I only bothered to review 4 because one of them is a movie that was only shot like 25%, and then they released the cut of the movie with that 25% of new footage and then a bunch of recycled footage from the other 3 movies or something like that. And so I was like, I'm not reviewing that. That's not even a fucking movie. There's no point in me even talking about it. And then there's another one that is like out of print. You can't even find anywhere. I couldn't find it on YouTube or anything. Something like that. I could be saying it wrong. There's 1 or 2 of them that are like you're just never going to see ever again.
Is Angela still the, I guess, protagonist in the film?
She's the killer in all 3 of them. She's
she
the
is.
main character in 2 and 3, and she's the killer. And the 4th film is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's really bad. It's you focus on this horribly obnoxious kid, and they use Angela as like a surprise reveal in the final reel of the movie, and it's like,
okay,
that's like saving Michael Myers for a surprise reveal at the end of a Halloween film. We know what the fuck we're here for. What are you doing? And so yeah, that 4th film was just, my God. But yeah, I love the first film. You weren't asking me, but since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh man. So are you planning on doing a video on like the timelines at all?
Oh, hell no. No.
Hell no.
No, I'm doing a ranking. But
what is your favorite timeline of Halloween movies?
Honestly, the original, then the original sequel, and H2O.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
The second would be part 4. I just texted you 2 days ago, like, hey, I'm watching 4. This one had balls, man. I love the ending. You know, it really had an idea and saw it through. But that's the original, still the best. I'll never forget being in the theater watching H2O in the theater. Everyone was clapping when Jamie cut off Michael's head. It was perfect. The music, and she's breathing and cuts to black. Perfect. That was a perfect ending. So I would say Rob Zombie would be my 3rd out of the timelines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Most people only discuss 5 timelines. I'm discussing 10 of them.
There's 10
on my video. Well, technically you have the resurrection timeline, 1, 2, H2O resurrection. Then you have the Cult of Thorn timeline, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Then you have the Season of the Witch timeline, which is just 3.
Yeah.
Then you have 1 Halloween 2018 kills and ends. Am I forgetting one? Was that 5? No, and then Rob Zombies, 1 and 2, so 5. But I'm taking it a step further, and I'm splitting up some of those timelines. So where you have the resurrection timeline, I also have the H2O timeline, which is where resurrection doesn't happen. And then you have the another timeline where it's just 1, 2, and 4, and 5 and 6 didn't happen. And I only did that because there's certain points in these timelines where it feels like you could stop here. There's no lingering plot threads. There's no cliffhangers that need to be resolved. And so the other movies are just kind of extra stuff. So I think in my own, I mean, who gives a fuck? It's my video. I can do what I want. That those count as timelines. So yeah, I have 10 different ones that I'm discussing, just to make it a little bit more fun. So it's going to be a cool video tomorrow. I got some cool timeline visuals and stuff that I was rendering all day. So
which timeline has where Biff steals the All Sports Almanac and gives it back to his younger self?
The Johnny Be Good timeline.
There we go. Okay, I just totally forgot.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun video. That was the only ranking video that I was really looking forward to because it's one I haven't been able to do before. So that's kind of a new idea. And
God, then I never even thought about doing the rankings of a timeline, man. But wow, dude, that's you go.
I saw a couple of content creators that I know watch my channel post theirs, and I hate to be that guy. I was like, I announced that I was doing this like 2 months ago. I wonder if they jumped the gun to be the first to do it, or if they actually thought of it. I don't know. Maybe not. Again, I don't want to be that guy, but I see that and I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker. I know you saw that. Anyway,
but I don't know if anybody asked you this, like, out of 4, 5, and 6, do you think there's any way they can go with that Samhain Halloween ritualistic, ancient approach with the new ones? Because I just saw 3 Season of the Witch again for the first time in 20 years with CP last week, right? And I love when Cochran is giving the exposition of why they're doing this, right? It's the joke and it's the Samhain, Stonehenge. And if you watch my watch along video, I'm like smiling, like that's a beautiful idea. Like, hey, Halloween is just not the American, tradition. There's other ancient ideas with that. So that's what I hope they go with the next Halloween franchise. Explore the Halloween, the history of it, and maybe connect it to Michael somehow. But do you think there's anything worth of merit to explore there?
There was a part of me, because Blumhouse had it, and Blumhouse, as I know it, to be more quantity than quality. I was kind of surprised that once this trilogy ended, we didn't get some kind of an announcement that they're going to start doing a Halloween traditional movie and then the next year an anthology movie, and then do that. That seemed like something that Blumhouse was going to do. I've always loved the anthology idea. I'm a big fan of Halloween 3. Yeah. And there's a large part of me, despite how much I love a lot of these Halloween movies, there's a large part of me that's curious what stories we would have gotten if they had stayed the course with that.
Right. The potential. The fresh ideas, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
I think that there was a lot of potential for that. I just don't think people want to see it, unfortunately. If you're going to have to use the term Halloween to sell the movie. But if you use the term Halloween, people want to see Michael Myers. They don't want to see anthology ideas or anything different. So it's a lose-lose. Yeah. I mean, I think Halloween 3 is a classic. I kicked myself in the ass that I didn't grow up watching it. I stayed away from it for a long time because everybody said how horrible it was. And then I watched it and I was like, what the fuck, you assholes? I would have loved this. So I think there's a lot of good ideas that could have came out of that unfortunately we'll probably never see.
Never see. Ever.
Never. All right, guys. Well, we'll cut it off at 2 hours and 30 minutes. So if you want to ask us some questions over the next 12 minutes, we will fire off some of these Q&As. Try to keep it Halloween centric. I don't want to get too off the beaten path talking about
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, exactly. Then the video just loses all flow. So if you want to fire out some questions for me or for Rudy, we will talk about those for another 12 minutes, and then we will get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite soundtrack? Or score, should I say score? There you go. That's the appropriate term.
I really like the score from 2018.
Okay.
Like the Allison, or the Shape Hunts Allison, I think is probably my favorite track. Other than that, probably the original film, just because for its simplicity.
Okay. Yeah, mine would be 3 and then the original. And if you play 3...
3, absolutely. Yeah, I keep forgetting about 3, but 3's fucking awesome. It's shocking that John Carpenter didn't do the score because it feels so much like he did.
And I mentioned this with CP last week, but if you play 3, there's a constant boom, 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 boom. It's the Terminator soundtrack, dude. It's the same thing. So it's the same beats. If you play the Halloween 3 score with Terminator, you'll never know the difference. Boom, boom, boom.
Make that cut, Rudy.
Yeah, I will. Right on it, right? But I love 3.
Let me see here. Allison gets pregnant with Corey's baby and it becomes the new killer. Thoughts? That idea has been done to death. There's so many horror movies where the evil guy fucked the main chick and then the ending of the movie is the baby or she's pregnant or whatever. It's been done to death. So no, I would have hated that. Let me see here. I feel lots of Halloween fans are being babies about the new film. What? Halloween fans being babies? Never. It's different. Get over it. How do you feel about the fan base? I mean, I'm kind of biased in the negative direction because I had such a horrible experience with the fans back in 2018. I understand that it's just a select few, but I still see that behavior to this day from only the Halloween fan base. I've never seen it from Nightmare. I've never seen it from Chucky. I've never seen it from Friday the 13th. Maybe when we get a new film for those, I'll be able to eat my words and say, hey, we're all a little fucking crazy, I guess. But I've only seen the shitty behavior that I've seen out of Halloween fans from Halloween fans. I think that, like we've said a couple times in the video, there's people that are being obnoxiously positive about the movie to where they're like talking down to everybody like you're not intelligent enough to enjoy it. That annoys the fuck out of me. And then there's also people on the opposite end that are acting like it's the worst thing ever. And if you like anything about it, you're an idiot, you're a piece of shit, you're not a real fan. And those people are equally fucking ignorant. So I hate that. Those people are being babies. At the same time, I understand why a lot of Halloween fans are upset because yet again, they get this trilogy, they get this built up hope, they get these, these expectations set, and they decide to go in these weird subversive directions instead of just giving the fans what they wanted for the most part, which is just a badass final movie between Laurie and Michael that definitively gives you a winner.
Yeah.
And I said it in a tweet earlier today. Subverting expectations is not always the best path. Sometimes going the obvious route, giving the fans what they're asking for, what they clearly want, is the best path. Just ask Dexter. so yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that are that way, but there's I understand the frustration with this movie. As much as I'll defend certain things and I do like certain things, this is not the kind of movie where I'm like, I don't understand what everybody's fucking problem. No, I understand 100%. I said it in the theater while I was watching it in real time. I said, oh, motherfuckers are going to be pissed at this. And lo and behold, they were.
Yeah. I do admire the fans' passion. I get why they're upset. The toxicity and the belittling to other fans who don't see what they're seeing, I don't tolerate. But I do admire fans' passion. And that goes for not just these movies. There's MCU. There's all types of things. So I do admire that there's love out there for it. And we just want the best for it. Whatever that is, it's subjective. But I do admire the passion.
Let me see here.
What I would love is like, okay, this came out. Let's see the original cut. Let's see what was originally penned. If it's just 2 movies, great. But I want to see what the original cut was. Director's cut, all the blood, all the guts, everything. If they were to release that next year around Halloween, I would buy it. Because I would want to see that.
The petition about this movie is dumb. Lick your wounds and get over it. Yeah, anybody that signs petitions for movies to be reshot that actually thinks for even a second that it's going to happen, those people are fucking delusional.
Yeah.
That's obnoxious entitlement. If the movie didn't work for you, sorry. Fucking move on. I've heard one of the original endings was that after the fight with Michael, Allison shoots Corey off a balcony in an ode to the OG and he was going to disappear like Michael did. Thoughts? That's a version of what Rudy said, but Rudy's version was better.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Thank you.
No problem. I want the Rudy cut. Did people not feel like they were sold a bag of goods after the sequels? What is he asking here?
I don't know. I don't get that phrase. Is that like a northern phrase or like?
I don't know.
People do not feel like they were sold a bag
Clarify your statement, Vinyl.
Yeah, we're not that hip. We don't speak that type of jive.
Do you think Ends was good for a closure or was it just a wasted opportunity?
Wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I lean more to that. As much as I like aspects of the movie, it's not a good closing chapter for a trilogy. Fan service has become extremely taboo to the creators. There's got to be a balance. Like, you don't want to have just fan service because then I could write that myself.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you can't say fuck the fans. I'm doing everything that I want because they're the ones that are buying your tickets and securing your future of a filmmaker and for the rest of the franchise. So you got to have a balance there.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson. Did I say that out loud? Some audio problems here.
Thoughts on the moldy mask?
Go ahead.
I don't think there's a ton of difference between it and Kills. Like, I didn't even bother to re-rank the masks because I'm like, okay, it's a little more yellow, but it's not like a gigantic change. It makes sense. It's fine. I didn't really feel strongly one way or the other about it. Kills alternate ending would have been perfect with ends. Thoughts? Highly disagree. I prefer that ending to Kills. The original ending, I don't know if you're familiar. I think you are because we talked about it with CP. He saw it in the original test screening where
we talked about
same exact ending, but Karen gets killed. Her phone's ringing. It's Laurie trying to get a hold of her, and Michael answers the phone, and all you hear is that, and she goes, "Michael, I'm coming for you," and then it ends with her walking down the hallway with the knife. It's a great ending for that movie to set up the original idea, which was going to be all in one night. But it wouldn't make any sense if she's going to give up the fight and then 4 years later just be okay. It sets you up for a movie that this is not.
Yeah.
That's why they decided to change it. I would love to see Rob Zombie do a Halloween 3 with either Michael somehow coming back or Laurie being the new Michael, but then I feel like Rob's story is finished. What do you guys think? I don't want to see another Rob Zombie movie. I think Rob Zombie's 2, whether you watch the theatrical or the director's cut, is a very definitive ending. I don't think there's... you would never get him back to do it because he hated his experience making the 2 movies, for one, but I don't think there's anything left in that story.
Yeah, new ideas. I mean, go forward with something new.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah,
if there's a reboot, would you be on board with a totally different mask or look? I think it's too iconic. I don't think you can stray too far from it.
I would want a female Michael Myers. I would want a female Michael Myers. Why not? Why not? Go with something different. I'm not gender swapping, but just go with something new. Same mask. Yes, it's a fantasy.
This movie is going to piss a lot of people off. Cody said this in his after the theater video, and he was not wrong. Yep. I knew it. It was obvious. I was like, ooh, this is going to be juicy. Name a couple of the most memorable moments, kills from all the Halloween movies. When Michael walks out of the burning house with the axe from Kills is such a badass moment for me. Yeah.
That's the best shot, in my opinion, of all the trilogy. That's the best.
Yeah. I love the Bob kill for a classic for the first kill or for the first movie. I really like the hot tub kill from the second film. I think that I'm trying to think of another badass kill
in this new trilogy.
Oh, just from the trilogy? No, all the Halloween movies.
Oh, all the Halloweens. Okay.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is pretty fucking brutal. I can't think of a specific kill, but that's in competition with kills for like the most bloody and brutal. What's a couple of your favorite kills?
Danny Trujillo getting, "I was good to you, Mikey." That's kind of like, that line just really kind of hits me because he's kind of raised this kid in the fact that Michael's killing him and you meant nothing to me. That line alone, I think, is what did it for me. But some of the other kills are very graphic and tough to sit through, but the emotional hit just with that plea, that really hit me for some reason.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's pretty mean-spirited.
Yeah.
Like, this Myers don't give no fucks.
And he's old too, one day from retirement, whatever it was,
Always.
all that tropes. Yeah, like, oh man, that's
training the new guy that ends up raping the random chick in the director's cut.
Rudy, his sexy Michael Myers. Yes, Michelle Myers. Yes.
There you go.
Yes. If you Google Michael Myers centerfold, there's a great photo out there. So
I'll allow this just because we discussed Terrifier for a brief moment earlier. Does the Terrifier films go too far with the gore? And if not, where does Hollywood draw the line in future horror up and coming franchises? Just saying Terrifier was too much, and wow, that was a lot to me.
Great question.
Well, Terrifier 2 is way more than Terrifier 1, so I don't know. Terrifier 2 is among the most extreme as far as gore, possibly the most extreme, but I think it's so excessive that it loops back around to being almost comical. Like, it's not vomit inducing. I'm not like, oh my God. Like I had a really hard time watching the first Hostel when it came out. To me, at that point, that was the most like brutal, disturbing thing that I had seen. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say Terrifier 2 ever really disturbed me. It was just like, holy fuck. Oh my God. Like it was just so extreme that you were like laughing uncomfortably. So I
Yeah.
think it matters. The difference is the emotion that it elicits from you.
You're asking yourself, like, why am I laughing?
Yeah.
This is the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're just
Just
laughing.
going to town on one chick for like 12 minutes. You're like, God, what the fuck?
Are you done with that answering that?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, did it go too far? No, because to me, it really did feel like an 80s film, like something that shocked you and kind of went way over the bounds. I think Hollywood over the past 20 years has kind of weakened because think about it. When's the last hardcore rated R slasher been out that we've seen? I think rated R itself in films has kind of gotten weak. It's more like PG-13 in a way, and it's not as excessive as the 70s or maybe 80s films. And this reminded me of like a 70s or 80s film where it just had balls and just went outside the rules. And I loved it. Did it go too far? I know a lot of people, it's questionable and it's subjective. It can, whoever
Yeah.
answers that, you're going to get a different answer. But I love what they're doing. I love the fact that this is an independent movie funded by the fans, and the director and everybody involved in the production is giving the fans exactly what they want. And right now, it's what the most profitable film this year, from what I hear. It's making money. It's word of mouth. I haven't not seen a movie be so popular via word of mouth in a very long time. I can't recall the last movie that had a word of mouth like this did. You have to see it. You have to see it. There's like curiosity. What is he doing to that one girl in the bedroom? So I love what this symbolizes. And I hope we get more films like this that are funded by fans and independent writers that are outside the Hollywood rules.
Yeah.
To give us more films like this.
I love the fact that it's succeeding the way that it is. Like it just shows if you can tap into what the fans want and truly give them what they're asking for, even in excess, they'll show up for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of an antithesis of what's going on with Halloween Ends.
Yes, exactly.
And it's really cool to see because I was not the biggest fan of the first Terrifier, and I was like, Terrifier 2, do I really care? And then I heard it was 2.5 hours. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? And then I really had a great time with it, and I was just like, guys, seriously, like it's fucking great. And I love the fact that every time I go on to Twitter now, it's just tons of retweets from the cast, from the directors, the producers, like 5th in the box office. We're the movie that knocked Top Gun Maverick out of the top 10.
Isn't that cool?
We're going from 1,000 theaters to 10,000 theaters, and like it's the #1 selling Blu-ray on Amazon. Like it's just really cool that an independently made movie like that went through a lot of shit in its production, that the fans are showing up for it, going, thank you. Now we're going to show you how much we appreciate this. It's very cool to see.
Do you think I said it was probably the most brutal film I've ever seen, ever. I can't recall another film. I mean, then I get those comments in my video. Well, have you seen Serbian film yet? You don't know what you're missing, bro. Like, I'm not going to touch those films. That's not.
No, I'll never watch them.
But has there been a film outside of Terrifier 2, not excluding
it's
those?
probably the goriest movie I've ever seen. I don't, when I say brutal, I tend to think like tone wise, and I think it's more of a comical gore. So I don't, when I think brutal, I'm thinking like Hostel or something that's like torturing, and I'm like, oh, like it's dark and there's no levity, and I'm just feeling sick watching it, like I'm watching a snuff film. And some people might feel that way with Terrifier, but to me it always held on to that charm and always held on to that bit of levity, that bit of comedy there, to where you were able to enjoy it for how extreme that it was, which is a very subtle line to walk. I mean, when you're watching a woman get brutalized for, like I said, it feels like it's like 12 minutes
forever,
long.
too
It's
long.
not, but it goes on and on. You're like, what the fuck? Like some people I could see throwing up, passing out, whatever. But to me, it's so excessive that you can't help but be like, what the fuck? How did you do this? This is crazy. Like, it's a different response.
And you know what, for me, I tweeted this too. Like, I saw the film and I'm reacting to it, but I think my brain didn't register what I was looking at until 2 days later, because I was just in bed one day. I'm like thinking about what he did to her. Like, fuck. One who thinks of this, but like, honestly, I'm going to buy it. Whenever it comes out on Blu-ray, whatever, I'm going to buy it. But it's not going to be one of those films I'm going to want to see regularly. It's like Passion of the Christ. Like, it's good. I'll see it once a year maybe, but I don't know if I want to see it a lot, because it's just very brutal, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Couple super chats. 2K is easy says Corey can't defend against high school kids, but beats up Michael Myers. Yeah, we mentioned that.
Mhm.
Not the best idea, not the best execution. So Michelle
Yes.
Myers.
Yes. I'm gonna write out a script.
All right, let's
A
see
treatment.
here. We'll do 2 more. Dos más.
Dos más.
No spoils, please. I'd love to see it. We didn't spoil anything.
No.
Didn't spoil anything.
Their deaths when they're brutal.
Yeah, people die. Rainbow 4 is the goriest thing. That's a pretty gory movie. 5th one's pretty gory too. What the hell? No questions, people. Is Terrifier 2 streaming? Not yet. I don't think it's far off, but they're supposed to be expanding their theatrical run the weekend of Halloween. So keep an eye out for the tickets. They're supposed to
Awesome.
be expanding how many theaters they go to. So if you're in a city where it was not near you, you might luck out on the weekend of Halloween. But no, I don't know when it's coming to streaming. I can't imagine it's going to take too long though.
Somebody said it was a $250K budget, and it's made over $5 million. That's great.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, Good for them.
crowdfunded for the most part too.
Mhm.
Cody, will you rank best horror movies this year so far? I will. This is one of those years where there's been so many horror movies and so
You
many
have to.
good ones that
Mhm.
it merits its own video. I've seen almost 65 new movies this year, which is the most new movies I've ever watched. It was my first
Really?
full length. It was my first full-time year, so I wanted to make sure I saw as much as possible. So I'm going to have a video where I ranked every new movie I've seen in 2022, and I'll have a video where I rank all the horror movies of 2022.
I'm gonna do one too, but I think I need to see Orphan.
Which one?
I need to see Smile and the prequel to Orphan. Those
Both
are two.
good.
Yeah, I need to check those out before I do my list because, like
Yeah.
you said, this is an amazing year for horror.
Yeah, this is a year that we're going to talk about. Like they talk about 1994, one of the best years ever. Like we're going to talk about like 2022, man. That was like the fucking crazy. Like the stars were just
Mhm.
aligning.
Yeah. No, I'm not a Jeepers Creepers fan, dude. So no. I heard the Reborn one. Cody has an amazing video on that. Please go see it.
Oh. Will you rank? Oh, I already saw that one. Okay, hang on. Fan theory. I think Corey is going to be the next Michael in future movies. And that's why they cut his throat so he can't talk, and the mask is still lying around. Nah, I don't think they're going to follow up this movie, especially after the response to it. Can you imagine the reaction online? Hey, we're going to follow up with Corey. No.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll end on this one. Speaking of gore, have either of you seen Green Inferno? That's
Yes.
you have?
Have you?
I have. What do you think?
It was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
Cannibal Holocaust was worse.
Haven't seen that one, but
Yeah, don't see it.
Eli Roth, not the biggest fan.
Yeah.
The first Hostel really was effective for me. It's not a movie that I ever really want to rewatch. Same with the second one. I think that Cabin Fever is a really good idea, but there's a lot of really weird, goofy humor in that movie that kind of throws me off. It's like it's trying to be like Kevin Smith or something like that. I just don't understand his style of humor.
I thought he was going for like in the Sam Raimi Evil Dead, but more comedic approach with that.
It just didn't work though.
I know it didn't work either.
Yeah. But I'm shockingly, I'm on an island with this one too. I think the best Eli Roth movie is his Death Wish remake. I really like that movie.
There's a Death Wish remake
with Bruce Willis. You never saw it?
Really?
Yeah. It came out like in 2016 or 2017. I think it was 2017. And everybody just shit all over it because it was like right in the middle of the gun violence debate. And because it was a Death Wish movie where a guy takes a fucking gun and takes vigilante justice, everybody was assigning political shit to it. And it bombed at the box office. But I thought it was really fucking good. It's good Bruce Willis. It's got some really gnarly gore in it. So I like that movie a lot. So,
I may check it out.
I would suggest checking it out. I had a damn good time with it. So
okay.
I was carrying the torch for that one. It was in like my top 5 of the year. I was like, fuck the haters. 2018. Okay. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for watching Halloween Ends with us one more time. I don't know. Has anybody topped Rudy's 5? I think that's the most anybody on planet Earth has watched the movie so far.
You don't want to go more than 5. Like I said, I am done. I am done with this. I never want to see it again.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't going to be able to watch it more than 3. That's why I was like, I don't know if I can join Rudy. And then CP was doing one. I'm like, I don't know if I can join. I gotta do it on my channel, and by then I'll just be spent. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the super chats and the support. Be sure to go over to Rudy's channel. I'm going to post it in the chat one more time. That is the link to his channel, Gen X Reviews. Please go over, check him out, hit a subscribe button. I'll also put it in the video description if you're watching this in the future. One last one. Just finished seeing Halloween Ends, and I hated it. You're in good company. There's a lot
Welcome
of people
to the
that do
party,
not like
pal.
it. There you go. So Rudy, anything to look forward to coming up here soon? I know you said Halloween ranking.
Yeah, Halloween rankings. I'm watching them all over again. I just watched 5 last night, and I'm going to be watching. I know, it's just like, I'm gonna watch 6. And like I said, you know, people say Halloween Ends is the worst. Ends is the worst one. Like, no, go watch 5 and 6. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'll probably have that out by Halloween.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, on this channel, I have the Halloween timelines ranking. It will be dropping tomorrow. I've been wanting to get back to the John Carpenter reviews, but I think I'm going to save that for November. I was almost going to do The Thing, but it's been such a busy month. I want to give The Thing enough time to be a really good video. So I'm going to postpone that till November, and then we'll get cracking with the rest of Carpenter. But of course, we got Chucky episode 4 on Wednesday. Pray for the Devil, brand new horror movie coming out that I'm not interested in whatsoever, but of course I'm going to see it and review it. So that'll be coming as well. And this chair that I'm sitting on right now, it was sent to me by Ewin. Those of you guys have been following me for a while. I've done 2 reviews for Ewin over the past 2 years, one for the chair this replaced and one for one downstairs that my wife uses. And so I'm going to do one for this one, which is their latest updated model, and give you guys a discount code so that you can grab one. That will be at some point this week as well. And then 33 on 31 on the 31st. And that is all my plans up to this point. There might be an extra video in there somewhere, but that's all I have planned. But be sure to tune in tomorrow for that ranking of the Halloween timelines video, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Rudy, for joining me. Always
anytime.
Entertaining as hell. We got to get that Rudy cut, and then we got to get that Pornhub cut.
Oh, heck happen. Yes.
It's got to happen at some point.
I'll share the link later.
There you go. All right, so I'm gonna go rest my voice as my dry cough is starting to kick back up again, and Rudy's gonna go make love while screaming my name, apparently. So
yes, I am. Yes, I'll record it for you.
There we go. You did it. All right, everybody. Wait, where's the button? Where's the button?
Good night.
Oh, there it is. Take care, everybody.